South Africa, welcome to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. My name is Carl Wasty, and stand by for what is going to be an epic show today right here on S3. So please go tell friends, tell family, go into the WhatsApp group, tell them that it's happening now, it's live, and it's just us together. So today, as you may know, it's called Health Tuesday for a good reason on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, where we focus on women's health and their journey through fitness and nutrition. What many women don't know is how their menstrual cycle affects the way they eat and the way their body functions during exercise. And we bring in the experts to shed some light on what to do when. And yes, gentlemen, this is for you too. It's everybody's responsibility. Plus, Carissa and Zanele, or should I say just Zanele, will be putting their paces in with a little bit of a workout routine. I'm gonna make sure Zanele does that for you from Joburg, because I think that it's very, very lovely for us to get stretching and working out. So please clear the lounge and move the coffee table, as we would say on a Friday. But for this time, it's gonna be for all the fitness that's coming your way shortly. And then in the kitchen, we were going to make effortless Clement Gold roast chicken. Plus, we learn a few citrus hacks here and there. And as you know, with citrus hacks, it's going to be fantastic. You're going to feel like, oh my word, aren't you glad you tuned in today? It makes sense. Then, entertaining us in Johannesburg, we've got an amazing musician as well. There's a new single coming out, a new album, in fact, called The Rise. And we've got Anele Jamena, who's going to be there in Johannesburg to make sure that you are going to be properly entertained right here in your Feel Good Breakfast Show. So lots to look forward to. We've got health tips. We've got fantastic performers. We've got a bit of a workout as well. We've got great recipes. What else do we need? We need an actual pretty face on your screen. Zanele, good morning.
Oh, my lovely Carl, it's so good to be with you. And Expresso family, the fact that we get to wake up and come and get into your home and make sure that you start off your morning on the perfect note, it is exactly what we get up for in the morning, okay? Siyamkela Mzansi to the biggest and best breakfast show in the land. And we're coming to you live from the Samsung showroom at Design Quarter in Johannesburg. And you know that we have already got that delicious, hearty, full meal that's going to be ready for you this morning. But you also know we want to see you on the social media street. So please, let's join each other there, shall we? Hashtag Expresso Show. We want to know, on a cold winter day, especially as we round it off and leave it in 2024, my friend, what is that one indoor workout that you absolutely love to do? That one indoor move that makes everything just a little bit better and allows you to actually get that activity in. Let us know, 063-408-8863. And, of course, hashtag Expresso Show on all social media platforms. We're getting active, we're getting ready, we're getting our summer bodies, but you also know that we're getting you ready for the rest of the day, which is why right now Carl is standing by with the news headlines.
Thanks, Zanele. Let's take a look at your news, starting off with the special tribunal, which has declared the 257 million rand COVID-19 PPE contract awarded to Nkane Products and Supply invalid. Kaiser Kanyago from the Special Investigating Unit, the SIU, welcomed the ruling, calling it a key move against pandemic-related corruption. The SIU investigated the contract after Nkane demanded payment for goods delivered and ordered by the Gauteng Health Department, which refused to accept them. Excuse me. Nkane must now cover the SIU's application costs, including those for 2 councils. The case is set to continue in the High Court at a later date. Now, Home Affairs Minister Dr. Leon Schreiber has invited individuals to apply for the re-established Immigration Advisory Board, announced during his budget speech. This board will provide evidence based on insights on critical department matters. It will include representatives from Home Affairs, other departments, organised labour, business, independent experts and practitioners. The aim is to tackle challenging immigration policy issues by leveraging diverse expertise. Applications to join the board are due by September 7. Now on to international news. Kenyan cult leader Paul Mackenzie, who allegedly urged 400 followers to starve to death, has pleaded not guilty to manslaughter. This case is one of the worst cult-related mass deaths on record. Mackenzie, a self-proclaimed pastor, appeared in court in Mombasa with 94 other suspects. He was arrested in April after 429 bodies, including children, were exhumed from mass graves in Shakola, and many showed signs of starvation and assault. The prosecution plans to present testimony from, from over 400 witnesses in the coming days. Now, thousands have been evacuated from Athens suburbs as wildfires, with flames reaching 25 meters spread to nearby towns like Varnavas and northeastern Athens. Dozens of aircraft have been deployed to fight the fires, but with the nightfall, they were grounded, shifting the efforts to a ground operation. Now, firefighters, volunteers, police and citizens are working tirelessly while gale force winds worsen the blaze. International assistance is arriving from Spain, Italy, Turkey, Romania, Canada, France and Czech Republic, which is sending 75 fighters and 25 vehicles. Now, in a breathtaking finale in the Paris 2024 Olympics, Hollywood legend Tom Cruise stunned audiences with a daring entrance at the closing ceremony. As the crowd gasped in awe, the Mission Impossible star descended from the Stade de France roof, clad in his iconic leather jacket and gloves. Cruise's dramatic arrival was perfectly timed with a rocking guitar performance by her. The excitement peaked as Cruise, in a pre-recorded film, traveled through Paris to Hollywood, where he unfurled the Olympic colors at the iconic Hollywood sign. In a thrilling moment, he received the Olympic flag from American gymnast Simone Biles before zipping away on a motorbike, marking an unforgettable handover to Los Angeles, the next Olympic host. That's it for your news for now. Let's take a first look at your weather. Here is Zanele.
Let's take a look at what's going to be happening today in terms of weather outside. And my friend, unfortunately, waves, winds and fire risk across South Africa. Cold fronts to hit Eastern Cape and precautions are urged. The South African Weather Service has issued multiple warnings for today. A yellow level 3 warning for damaging waves expected to disrupt small harbours and ports is forecasted between Alexander Bay and Plettenberg Bay. Damaging winds making sea navigation difficult are expected between Cape Columbine and Cape Agulhas. Now, strong interior winds posing risk to high-sided vehicles are anticipated in southern parts of the Northern Cape, Central Karoo and parts of the Eastern Cape. Extremely high fire danger conditions are expected in the central regions, Western KZN and parts of the Western Cape. But a cold front will also pass through the Eastern Cape tomorrow, bringing cold conditions, strong to gale force winds as well as high seas. The public and small stock farmers are advised to take precautions. Remember, Expresso family, we also want to see those lovely views of yours, so please send them through 063 408 8863. What does your view look like this morning? What does that sunrise look like? Let us know 063 408 8863. With that being said, let's take a look at your temps for the day.
.29 in Uppington, so it looks like it's quite warm on that side, even though it's winter. But let's check out some of the hot news when it comes to sport. Atletico Madrid has secured Argentine striker Julian Alvarez from Manchester City in a blockbuster deal, potentially worth 85 million euros. The 24-year-old, instrumental in City's 2 Premier League titles, the Champions League and Argentina's World Cup triumph, has signed a 6-year contract, bolstering Atletico's attacking options for the upcoming season. Now, staying with football, AC Milan has signed Brazilian defender Emerson Royal from Tottenham Hotspur for an estimated fee of 15 million euros, with potential add-ons of 2 million euros. The 25-year-old, who has 10 caps for Brazil, has committed to the Rossoneri until June 2028, with an option for a further year. Now, Milan kicks off their league campaign against Torino. That'll be on Saturday night. Staying with footy, Stellenbosch has sold skipper Dino van Rooyen to Orlando Pirates, where he signed a 3-year deal with an option for 2 more. Van Rooyen, who was dropped from the top 8 quarterfinal due to the move, leaves after 8 years and a club record number of appearances. Meanwhile, striker Ikram Reyners is expected to join Mamelodi Sundowns soon. And now to golf, Scotty Scheffler secured an $8 million bonus for finishing #1 in the 2024 PGA Tour's Comcast Business Tour Top 10. The 28-year-old world #1 claimed 6 tour victories, including the Masters and the Paris Olympics gold medal. Xander Schauffele finished second, earning $6 million, and followed by Rory McIlroy in third with $4.8 million. And that's it for your sporting action for now. Another update in 1 hour. Let's take a look at more action that you can expect right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Here's Zanele.
Carl, thank you so much, my lovely. Listen, I know that we have got so much coming up on the show. However, let me tell you, Expresso family, first and foremost, we're going to be getting into some women's nutrition. All about those exercise tips that we can get into to really be ready when summer rolls around, but also to be healthy now. Women's health is important. So let's do it as we celebrate Women's Month. And then we also are going to be having a lovely lady with us, Kilebogile Mabuane. She's going to be giving us a little bit of a leg workout. I won't lie. My legs are sore, so she might put me through my paces, but I'm ready. Today, I'm excited, and I got it, okay? But you got to stick around, and you got to move the furniture and join us, because that's going to be happening right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We're going to take a short break, but we'll be back after this.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show. Expresso here on S3. And the physiological changes in women and the physiological differences between women and men can play a significant role in how we approach fitness, recovery, and nutrition. And this morning, we have to discuss this. And yes, it's everybody's business as well to know about all of the permutations around exercise and nutrition, especially around that particular subject matter. Now, womanhood and hormones, it's something that I think many more people need to understand. And this is why we've got the panel of experts that are here. So Dr. Chanel Matenison is here from Inner Health Medical Centers. We've got a seasoned dietitian. We've got Kerry Seedy is here, as well as biokineticist Jocelyn Latachan, who is here to make sure that we are ready to go and ready to rumble. So first and foremost, hello ladies, thank you so much.
Morning.
I'm so glad that I'm facilitating this conversation because I think it's everybody's business to know, about the physiological requirements, needs, everything that you need to know about a woman is so important. And I wanted to bring the three of you here to discuss. So if you don't mind, I'm asking questions from any point of view. But I think let's talk about the hormonal fluctuations and the physiological features when it comes to a woman, especially on a menstrual cycle, especially at what we would call that time of the month, just to better understand that type of process.
Okay, so in females, we go through it roughly 28 days a month.
Yeah.
Emphasis on roughly.
Yes.
And females go through different hormonal changes. Some days they feel like they can run a marathon. The next day they feel like they just want to sit on the couch and have some chips and have comfort food.
Yeah.
And it's all hormone dependent.
Yes.
So in the menstrual cycle specifically,
Yeah.
there are 4 stages of the cycle. There is the menstruation, there is the follicular phase, the ovulation, and the luteal stage. And all of these have different peaks and troughs of the hormones related. So in females, we've got estrogen and progesterone. In menstruation, so that would be usually day 1 to day 4, 5.
Yes.
There would be a sudden dip in the estrogen and progesterone. So that's when girls just don't feel great. They just want to, sit and bleed and just not be bothered. And then it comes to the follicular phase where they actually then have a boost of stamina and energy again. And then that's when they might want to feel a bit more energized and exercising. And then there's ovulation when the egg is released.
Yeah.
And then that's the peak of estrogen and testosterone in females too. And then there is the luteal phase when, it wants to, if there's no fertilized egg, the lining
Yes.
will happen again and girls will start to bleed again. So there's a lot of different hormone peaks and troughs.
Which is important to know about as well, especially on a physiological level. But let's talk about the menstrual cycle, some of the effects of each one of these phases. In fact, let's talk about some of the adjustments that perhaps need to be made to make it a bit more of a, I'm going to say, a bearable and manageable process. Do you have any recommendations in that regard?
In terms of nutrition, obviously,
Yes.
most of the studies in sports nutrition have been done in men.
Yeah.
So a lot of the guidelines are taken from men to be, put towards women. So obviously, each woman has to be, your diet has to be adjusted accordingly to their training.
Yes.
The most biggest risk in female athletes is undernutrition. So a lot of sports require you to be quite light in weight, especially the aesthetic sports like gymnastics, that kind of thing,
Yeah.
and the endurance events as well. So the most important thing is that they get enough energy in. That's number one. During, Dr. Chanel spoke about, during the luteal phase and
Yes.
follicular phase and that kind of thing. So there are some studies showing that there's reduced glycogen storage during the luteal phase. And that's when women generally crave carbohydrates and sugary things.
PMS.
So that's, yes, yeah, like the general PMS symptoms. So that's when it's very important that they have enough carbohydrates in their diet. The body's actually craving carbs.
Yes.
And especially for your pro athletes and women that are training heavily, it's important that they get enough carbs in sort of 3 to 4 hours before they train.
Well, that's very, very good to know, because I think that also just, in my experience with ladies around me, it's about that there's almost this punishment of like, oh my word, I had so many carbs and now my fitness program is all backtracked because of this whole thing and it's unfair. And I think that maybe if we can anticipate and plan ahead, it might be different. So on a training level, we mentioned glycogen stories, etc. Let's talk about how we can fitness and adjust our fitness to make sure it's manageable around that stage. I mean, what type of things can we think about in terms of planning ahead?
Yeah, exactly, Carl. I think we shouldn't use our physiology as like a weakness.
Yes.
We should use it to understand how our body works and connect with our body as females. So I think it's super important to try and sync our training program and recovery program within our menstrual cycle.
Okay.
So within the first 2 weeks, usually our estrogen and progesterone increase. And towards the end, we want to try and push for strength training. That's when we'll get our most reps strengthened, and because your body's going to recover quicker. And then towards the end, of those last 2 weeks, you might want to go to a HIIT class, a dance class. That's when your energy is up, your mood is up. And then maybe those following 2 weeks, you might not be able to recover as quickly. So you'd rather want to do maybe a yoga class, Pilates, or stretch. But most importantly, it's up to you and to the woman specifically. It's not like a cookie cutter approach. It's very individualized, and it's how you're feeling and how you want to connect with your own body. So.
Which is beautiful. I think it's important. Let's go around to the, when you are having the low points. Let's talk about how we can bring that to a certain level, because, you feel the low points, the energy's down, but you need to still train and feel good. Any suggestions as to how you want to just mitigate some of those types of low points? Are there any things and strategies that we can put in place in order to educate some of the ladies?
I think the first step is having these conversations, so now girls know.
Oh, there we go. That's good.
So now girls know that this is normal. It's
right.
part of your body. It's okay to feel one day and to feel great the next day. So if you can anticipate it, like you said, that does help a lot. And then, just like Justin was saying, going through the motions with it. When your body's craving the carbs, eat the carbs. It's okay. And when your body can recover quicker, then exercise. But you can, just try and understand your body, and trying to listen to your body, I think, is important.
Okay, this is good. So in terms of the dietitian side of things, planning for this type of thing, what are some of the foods which you'd say would be great in terms of feeding your body the right stuff to get the right type of balance? Because I do know that there is moderation that's important.
Yeah.
I do know when you are listening to your body, you tend to overeat and overcompensate, and then it's salty and it's sweet and salty and sweet, and you want to mix all those things together. So let's talk about some of the things that we could eat to help, let's just say, a bizarre craving.
Yeah.
Because I know you want to listen to your body, but you also want to make sure that you're healthy and continue the wellness.
No,
so
for sure.
what type of things should we, set out to make sure that when the craving happens, we can grab something that's more available than, let's just say, something that is a good mixture of salty and sweet?
Yeah, so obviously if you're training a lot, your carb and protein requirements are quite high.
Okay.
You still want to try and keep the fat content down, because obviously you want to gain, especially if you're on a strength training program, you want to gain lean muscle and you don't want to gain body fat. So we focus on the high carbohydrate foods, so things like, but I'd focus more on the low GI carbs, so things like, whole wheat bread, seeded bread, oats in the morning, fruit and yogurt, having healthy dairy snacks, that kind of thing. Also good for recovery post-training. So things like fruit and yogurt's very good recovery post-training.
Yes.
So really balanced eating, like you mentioned, I generally advocate more Mediterranean type eating. It's got 60 years of science behind it, so it's definitely the healthiest in terms of the way you eat.
Yes.
Having those snacks available post-training, for the professional sports people or people that are training heavily, you can get recovery drinks that have the appropriate blend of carbs and protein, which helps with recovery post-training as well. Yeah.
Let's go back to the movement side of things. So now we've got the body, sorted out. Movement is also quite important. So for the days where you don't want to train, you still want to move, you still want to be healthy. Do you have any suggestions in movements that you think are easy to do and easy to go to for that type of day?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's all about being kind to yourself and not being hard on yourself. So if you want to take those lighter movements, just go for a walk, go outside, take a yoga class, grab a friend, do some stretches. It's great for when you're feeling bloated, when you're feeling crampy, when you're feeling like you just want some light stretches to help the body. So just take a walk outside. A light walk is perfectly enough for some movement throughout the day, and then also get enough recovery and enough sleep throughout the day. Getting at least 7 hours, below 7 hours can increase your risk of injury. So making sure you recover and listen to your body.
Doctor, what do you think of naps during this time? No, you said sleep. I'm serious now. I mean, would you recommend naps? If you can take a nap, if you're not part of the rat race, so to speak, can you take a nap to help these things out?
Just yesterday I was saying I haven't taken a day nap in a long time.
A day nap is so good. Oh my word.
It's been a while.
Yes.
I definitely think it's important. I think that some people can do it. I don't think personally I can do it, because then I just feel more frustrated once I wake up. But definitely I think having that boost of energy does, help too. I think so. I would recommend naps, especially during, those cycles and the luteal phase, and that your body is more bloated. You do feel more tired. So I would definitely recommend it.
This is lovely. Ladies, I want to continue this conversation. I think there's more for us to discuss. I think it's great. So the experts will be here for you. Any questions? 063 408 8863. We'd love to answer.
When you wrap up, you do coming up straight to it. Okay. All right, everyone. Now, the time has come for us to be together in the name of fitness. I told you that we were getting into women's health, and this morning we have called upon Klebogile Mabuane, all in the name of this right here, a leg workout. Yesterday, I went to the gym, and my legs are sore. It was for the first time in 2 months, so I'm a little bit scared, but I've decided no leg workout formed against me shall prosper. And hopefully your ways will prosper with my legs.
Of course.
Yes, thank you. How are you, my Klebogile?
Oh, how are you?
I'm amazing, thank you, my babe. Tell me, what are we doing today?
Legs.
Yes. What are we doing to them? Like I said, I'm a little bit sore, so I'm a little bit apprehensive.
We're gonna burn them.
Sana, I don't think we must blend them. Like, can we just make them a little bit warm? You know what I mean?
Warm them up, burn them up, tone them up.
All right. Okay, Klebogile, let's get into it. What are we doing?
All right, so let's just start by just kicking it there.
Okay.
That's it, and other side.
My hamstrings are crying already. Hey.
Just warming up those muscles there.
And this is just a warm-up. Ha! All right. Okay.
Finding your balance.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. Klebogile, I actually want to ask you, because we're talking about what our favorite indoor workout is,
Yes.
particularly on a winter day. What's your favorite?
Indoor cycling.
Oh, Oh, that's so.
It's
that's
nice
so smart.
cardio and strength training involved when you add some resistance on the bike there.
Yes.
4,
And it's fun to take
3.
out your inner Tour de France.
Ne?
I like that.
Just think about the road.
I get that.
1, well done. So you're just gonna start with a back lunge, ne?
Okay.
So we're gonna step it back and then drive the knee up.
Okay.
Find the balance.
I got it.
Same leg.
Oh, same leg. Okay.
Yes.
How many?
Find the balance. We're doing 10.
Okay. Okay. I need to
2.
find my balance.
Yes. Engage that core. Find a spot.
I'm engaging the core.
Yes. Engage the core. Find a
Yes.
spot so that you can get your balance there.
Okay.
Nice one.
I think I'm a bit balanced now.
Beautiful.
All right.
And you should feel that quad, that standing leg there.
Okay. I'm feeling the other one as well. Is that good or bad?
Yeah. It's all good.
Okay.
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 In 3. In 2.
Uh-huh.
In 1.
Okay.
And then you're gonna step it to the side.
Okay.
All right. We're gonna go down into a squat. Press your heels down.
Okay.
Push your hips back. As you go down into a squat, when you get up, we go calf raises.
Okay. Got you.
All right. So down, calf raises. Press those heels down as you go down into a squat. That's it.
Uh-huh.
Remember? Engage that core.
Right. And this core is being engaged, Kesana.
Ha, 6-pack abs coming. Well done. You're doing good.
Thank you. I'm trying.
You're trying, ne?
I'm trying.
You're looking like a pro there. 3,
Kelebogile, you just
2.
laugh me. I laugh at you, girl.
1. Well done.
right.
Another one. Splits there.
Okay.
And then we're doing split deadlifts. Okay? So you're just gonna take it down,
Ooh.
push your hips back,
Okay.
press the heel down.
Okay.
I want you to feel the glutes and the hamstring.
I feel the hamstring.
You feel the That's
do.
okay. As you go down and up.
Okay.
There. Push that hip back so that the glute and the hamstring is engaged.
Okay. I feel it.
All right.
I feel it in the glutes.
Nice one.
Kelebogile, I also
That's
want
what
to
I
ask
want.
you,
Yes.
just in terms of, really having energy, particularly at this time of the year where, that end of year fatigue is settling in. What would you say is best, particularly for our breakfast, but also, merging it with some exercise?
My go-to breakfast is wheat bix and banana.
Okay. Yes.
That's my go-to breakfast. Or some eggs. I'm a big fan of eggs.
Okay.
Some protein. Add some protein.
So as long as we got some protein and some...
And 1. Well done. Shake it out. We're gonna do it again.
Are you sure?
You can't be tired yet. On the other leg. Onto the other side. Yes.
I'm ready.
Lunge back.
Lunge back.
Down.
Okay.
And knee
And
up.
up. Oh yes, up this way.
There we go.
I remember now.
There. Well done. Aha. Cool. Yeah, I love myself some eggs.
Yes.
Some avo.
Yes.
On toast.
I love that. And can I ask you, since I returned back to gym for the first time in 2 months, what advice would you give me?
Take
for
it slow.
consistency?
Take it slow. Find something that you enjoy. Do you
Okay.
enjoy classes? Do you enjoy weights?
Well, I don't enjoy anything.
I'm so sorry.
I'm just being honest.
I know. I know. But this thing about fitness, it doesn't have to be gym.
Okay.
All right? Feel out right? It doesn't have to be gym. You can also do sports. Do you like sports?
Hey, I do. I like netball.
If there's indoor netball,
Okay.
you can go out there and play netball.
Fair.
Aha.
Hey, I'm tired. You were not
No
joking.
ways.
Remember, I've been in gym for 2 months.
And you are doing great, yeah? Aha, you are
I'm
doing
trying,
good.
girl.
Almost there. 4. And 3. And 2. Well done.
And can I ask you,
Yes?
if I'm trying to lose weight in my thighs,
Yes.
what are the best things to go for?
Let's try cardio.
Okay,
Okay.
I got
A
you.
little bit of weight exercises there to tone it up. You're gonna lose the fat, and then tone it up.
I like that. Okay, perfect.
Obviously, you need to eat less.
Oh, yes, that calorie deficit.
Yes.
Hey. And one thing about me, I can get the calorie deficit right? But it's the exercise. Going to the gym.
Is it?
Yes.
No, man.
So it's nice. I get free classes here on Expresso. And so
How
do you,
about
Expresso
that?
family. So thank you for that, Culinary. We appreciate your eyes.
And one. Well done. Check it out.
All right.
Now
Is
you're
that
gonna.
the end?
No, it's not.
Oh, all right. I was just checking.
We
All
just got started.
right. Oh, okay. All right.
So now we're doing the side lunge.
Okay.
All right. Still, we're gonna fill our inner thighs. Okay. So step it to the side, push your hips back, and then lean.
Oh, actually, I used to do this in netball.
Ne? Well done. Thank you. So, and come back.
Okay.
So we're doing on the same side.
Okay.
Okay. So step it out and back.
Oh, okay.
I say.
So we're not staying there. All right.
Just working your adaptor muscles there.
Yes.
And then other leg is in a squat position. So the glutes are also working.
Okay. I feel you. Am I going deep enough? Do I need to go deeper?
You wanna go deeper? If you wanna go deeper, you can go deeper.
How, Sana? That's one so deep, you're deeper than the ocean. But I'm feeling that stretch. I'm feeling it, which is nice.
3 more. 2 more.
Uh-huh.
And 1 more. Well done.
Nice.
Now feet out wide.
Uh-huh.
Into that sumo.
Okay.
There we go, but we're gonna pulsate it.
Uh-huh.
So you're gonna go down
Down.
and then just gonna pulsate it.
Okay.
Once you feel that inner thighs.
I do.
Beautiful.
She said we were gonna bend. I'm bending. There is a
Up.
bend.
3, 2, 1. Well done.
I tried.
No, you did very good.
Thank you.
Last one. Feet shoulder width apart.
Okay.
Press your heels down. Knees slightly bent. Hands on your head. And we're gonna go down into a static good morning day. Feel that loose in the hamstring.
Oh yes, and these I remember that these are called good mornings.
Yes. So good morning.
Why are they called good mornings?
Yes, Nami, I do not know. I don't
they
want to
just
lie to you. Nami, I do not know. You must just say good morning to our Expresso people.
I love that. And good morning, Expresso
morning.
family. Good morning.
So I say 2 more. And last one. Beautiful. And shake it out.
Amazing. Is it too late to work on my summer body?
No,
I love it.
it's never too late.
Thank you. You're amazing.
Thank you very much.
She delivers. You know what I mean? Because I feel worked out from this workout. But Expresso family, we still have so much coming your way. And one of those things, actually, with us getting into workouts, is finding out how you can get your menstrual cycle in tune with your workout. It's going to be happening right here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. But don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel good breakfast.
Welcome back. I'm so glad you could join us once again on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is S3, and we're continuing our discussion about women and their fitness regimes. And next, we will be exploring the effects of birth control, perimenopause, and menopause on women's health and performance. And we still have the doctor of the couch, Dr. Chanel Martinison, as well as Kerry Seedy and biokineticist Jocelyn Ladechan, to just answer all of these questions. And I have many, which is very, very important to have. So let's start off with, Doc, the hormonal impact, right, of birth control on, let's just say, performance and well-being. I think it's important for us to explore this particular thing because naturally, birth control, if it's a step, if you consult with your doctor, that's where you want to go, there's going to be some effects. Let's talk.
Yeah. So in our bodies as females, we've got estrogen and progesterone.
Yeah.
When we take in hormonal contraceptives, it is like taking in more of that synthetic forms of estrogen and progesterone.
Okay.
And so when, like we explained earlier with the menstrual cycle, there are these peaks and troughs of estrogen and progesterone. And when you take the hormones, it actually sort of keeps that state a little bit more steady.
Yes.
And so obviously there's more. Either some females are on progesterone only,
Yeah.
and some are on estrogen only, or progesterone and estrogen,
Okay.
so a combination. There are different types, pills, IUCDs, you know, different methods. But obviously, once you've discussed with your doctor, you'll decide what's the best option for you. Some are systemically that can affect you, and some are just more locally affecting. So, you know, once you take them, sometimes it doesn't affect your menstrual cycle as much because it's in a bit more of a steady state. So you do feel a little bit more stable on them.
Just as an intro to the next question, let's look at the building blocks to understand perimenopause, menopause, and someone's who is having a hot flash after 40 and is worried about menopause coming on. Let's talk about that for a second. Just before we ask any more questions, just so we have a good understanding, a base understanding for what perimenopause is and what menopause is.
Okay, so perimenopause, peri means around.
Okay.
And menopause is the stopping of that menses. So
Yes.
you stop your menstruation for at least a year. So there should be no bleeding for at least a year in that female's life. Then you can really only say, oh, I've reached menopause.
Okay.
So you can't just, once you have a hot flash, you're like, oh, I'm in menopause.
Yeah.
It's not that. It is
Okay.
once you've reached no bleeding. After you've not bled for a year,
Yes.
then it's considered abnormal uterine bleeding. So once there's no bleeding, you can safely say, okay, now it's menopause. So when there's menopause, there's also a drop in estrogen. And a drop in estrogen is lovely in a female body. And once there's a drop, there are different effects that
Yes.
can happen to you. So there's vasomotor changes like the hot flashes,
Yeah.
you know, feeling just hot all the time. There's the fatigue, the sleep disturbances, recurrent UTIs, vaginal dryness and irritation, genitourinary complications. So females go through, there are lots of short-term and long-term changes. But in general, to just think about menopause, it
Yes.
is the stop of your menstruation and a drop in estrogen in the body.
So now let's talk about helping those moments, perimenopause and menopause, on a dietary level. What are the type of building blocks in our diet that we can put in place to make this experience a bit more manageable, especially in terms of our well-being?
Yeah, so I think the most important thing that comes into play here is actually bone health in terms of women, because with a drop in estrogen, you get a drop in bone mineral density.
Okay.
So ensuring adequate calcium and vitamin D intake is very important.
Yes.
Especially in women that are training as well, their calcium requirements can, especially if they're energy restricting, their calcium requirements can actually even be even more.
Yes.
So we normally look at about 1,500 milligrams of calcium as a supplementation in terms of women going through perimenopause and menopause that are training heavily.
Okay.
We do recommend dividing that calcium intake up throughout the day because one can only absorb about 500 milligrams of calcium at a time.
Yeah.
But yeah, ensuring adequate calcium intake either through supplementation or you can incorporate sort of 2 dairy servings a day, so
Yeah.
yogurt and cow's milk and that kind of thing to help calcium intake.
Lovely. So a bunch of friends who are thinking it's happening, perimenopause, it's around, I feel it, the hot flashes are coming in, what's going to happen to me? Everything's going to dry up, including my motivation to train. Like, let's talk about how we can address that on a motivational level as well, because as the doc said, a lot of fluctuations, a lot of estrogen declining. I feel like a decline speaks to somebody not being motivated to get up and train. And I believe it's the opposite, you know, and in order for us to have this overall vitality, we've got to keep on moving. So what type of movement should we look at if perimenopause and menopause is something that we have as a reality? What type of training should we look at?
I think the most important type of training is strength training.
Yes.
Like we said, we obviously want to maintain or increase the muscle mass as we get older.
Yes.
So strength training is super important for joint mobility, bone density, as well as it decreases the risk of falls as we grow older. And I think in terms of that motivation is finding another group of ladies to do strength training with.
Yes.
I think that motivation is super important. I've seen it in our own clients is joining with a friend or a group of ladies together really increases that motivation to wake up in the morning and to come. And to know the benefits of strength training is so important. A lot of people don't understand the benefits to it. So I think educating women around the importance of it is going to motivate them to come and train.
So overall, we've got great foundations for dealing with these hormonal fluctuations. But I think my last question is about being a partner to somebody who's going through hormonal changes. I think it's an important part. A support system, mental health-wise, is vital. So let's talk to the gentlemen and the ladies who are partnering up with somebody who's going through hormonal changes. What are some of the things that you would like to see people leaning into as creating a support structure around people who are perhaps going through perimenopause, menopause, or even a hormonal fluctuation like a menstrual cycle throughout the month? Just as an anecdote to wrap this up, I think it's important.
So, okay, let's just touch on the menstruation
Yes, please.
first. So, as a partner, you just be, during that luteal phase, just be a little bit more gracious and kind to your female counterpart because they're going through a lot.
Yes.
So, I think just to understand that firstly, you know, bring the healthy snacks if you know, and
Yeah.
don't tell me that I'm eating too many carbs at the time.
Yeah, pick your words.
Yeah.
Which
Think
is
about
important.
what you
Yes, okay,
say.
great.
Okay, so that's with menstruation. But then around perimenopause, so like we said, peri is around. So that's
All right.
usually when females will start to notice, ooh, they're feeling a little bit more easily irritated, like irritable and, you know, easily fatigued and things like that.
Okay.
So those things will start to slowly creep in. And then as a partner, you know, you now know your person, so you can try and understand, like, this is not normal. Something is changing
Yes.
within her, you know, her biome. So, you know, just understanding that there are changes happening. And then with the vaginal dryness and things like that, speaking to a doctor, there are medications
Yes.
out there that can help. And with the recurrent UTIs, there are things that can help. There are hormone replacement therapies. So I think just being that support system, taking them, going with to the doctor and trying to explain certain things that sometimes the female doesn't even sometimes see, explaining it to the doctor can actually also help. And just as a last note,
Yes.
the age around, like the average age is about 51.2 for menopause.
Yes.
So in females, if you're around the 50s, just because you've reached 40 doesn't mean you are in menopause.
Thank you for
can
saying
wait
that.
until like around
Yeah.
51. And then you'll start to see the menstrual cycles are changing.
Okay.
They're becoming more irregular and starting to see those other hot flushes changes and the different,
It's profound. Any last words from my dietitian and our fitness expert as well?
Yeah, I just think in terms of knowing yourself, knowing your training levels,
Yes.
speaking to a professional, knowing what your carb and protein requirements are, making sure you adequately, you're having enough energy and carbs in your
Yes.
diet and protein, supplementing appropriately, it's very important.
Lovely.
Yeah.
And I think just being kind to ourselves, I think as women, we're really hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
So just being kind, if you want to exercise, exercise. If you want to rest, take that break. But we're all here to help you. Everyone can lean on each other for support. So that's the most important.
I love that. Thank you so much, ladies. It's been an incredible conversation. And I must just say, let's keep on talking, communicating, and asking for professional help, but also grabbing a circle of individuals that we can share with for our mental health and stability. I think it's so important. Now, coming up in the Feel Good Breakfast Show, we plan to stay with you with regard to celebrating our Pharmacy of the Week. Plus, we've got a recipe for effort-free Clement Gold roast chicken. Make sure you stay there.
Oh, you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Good morning, Expresso family. You're on your Feel Good Breakfast show, and it is absolutely lovely to be with you. Thank you for trusting us to wake you up, okay? We promise we always put our best foot forward in terms of doing that, and this is why we always have an action-packed show. But I always tell you as well that, of course, the show is also on the social media streets. Hashtag Expresso Show. This is where we want to hear from you, all in the name of our Good Morning Post. And it is, what is your favorite workout to do, particularly on a cold winter's day? Let's take a look at what's been coming through. Mark Gavin said, good morning, hashtag Expresso Show. Cardiovascular blood circulation dumbbell squat. Yo, it sounds very scientific, that squat. It's scary, in fact, to me. But it sounds like you love it, Mark, which I'm so happy about. Antuli Melody Smart says, hashtag Expresso Show. Good morning. Definitely cardio. You are better than me, Antuli. I will tell you that much. Teresa Micah says, good morning, my beloved, beautiful Expresso fam. My favorite indoor workout on a cold winter day is yoga. I like that. It's nice and slow. It goes with the mood of whether it's raining or a little bit windy outside. I like that a lot. Landy Motembi says, good morning. Skipping rope. That one's a fun one, which I will give you points for, Landy. But Patrick Mhlongo says, good morning, team. EMS, my fave indoor in a cold winter day is to exercise, like doing squats, 40 in a day, some in the morning and 40 in the night, forgive me. And I think that for me, I get that. You know, you put yourself through the paces a little bit, but not too much. You know, even split them up just to make things a little bit better. I am for this, and keep them coming. Hashtag Expresso Show all over social media. And even your voice notes, we want to hear 063-408-8863. What is your favorite indoor workout when it is a cold, gloomy winter's day? I promise, though, no gloominess coming your way here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. And one person who always makes sure of that is the amazing, incredible, ever handsome, great Carl. Hi, my Carl.
Zanele, thank you so much. That was wonderful. Winter indoor workout squats. That's all for winter, you know, because summer bodies are made in winter. But it is Tuesday, which means that it's the perfect time for us to focus on Pharmacy of the Week, where we salute the remarkable individuals leading the charge in healthcare. Proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave. So let's take a look at the Pharmacy of the Week, Nikita's Pharmacy in Lenasia South.
Our pharmacies are on the front line of healthcare. This is Pharmacy of the Week.
So Nikita's Pharmacy is one of the startup pharmacies in this area. It's been here from 1999, so it's almost 25 years. It started off initially as a small community pharmacy. We've then developed and grown it into a fully fledged pharmacy and clinic. Often most of the community members do come first to the pharmacy for the advice, and we either refer them or assist them if it's a minor ailment. If it's a clinic service, we do that in the clinic. We also have a virtual consultation where we offer the service of them being able to dial the doctor and the nurse assists with their examinations. So we do that. As a pharmacist, I do the pharmacist consultation on the medication that we dispense, any medication that is required from infants right up to adults, that as pharmacists we legislatively can dispense, we do that. If not, we then refer. We refer to the nearby doctors, there's clinics, hospitals, which we do. And obviously our clinic services is well established, so we can dial the doctor immediately if it's an emergency, and we can do that. We make it convenient, and we make sure that wellness is taken care of, and that's what we believe.
Pharmacy of the Week, proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave.
Carenza Parisi, proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave.
I love pharmacies, and the commitment that they have to looking after communities, absolutely beautiful. And thank you for your unwavering commitment and tireless efforts to keep our communities healthy and thriving. Now, we're going to be thriving right here in the Feel Good Breakfast Show. Coming up, we have a real-life Olympian over here, just chatting a bit more about the South African Olympic Association. And then, of course, a little bit later, we've got entertainer coming in. Anela Jamena is going to be here, well, in Joburg, to make sure you are thoroughly entertained right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. So make sure you stay there, grab a cup of coffee. We'll be right back.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back and good morning. It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso here in S3. And here's a little bit of an update for you. You can choose just 6 lucky numbers and play Powerball and Powerball Plus for 48 million rand in total estimated jackpots. That's this Tuesday, which happens to be today. So don't get left behind. You can play Powerball for an estimated 42 million rand and Powerball Plus for an estimated 6 million rand. But as always, if you want to win, you got to play. So this is how you do that. You can buy your tickets today. Walk into store positively and you can grab a ticket on the nationallottery.co.za website or the mobile app. You can also buy tickets through cell phone banking or by simply dialing star 120 star 7529 hash. That is for USSD. We've posted all the details on the Expresso social media pages, so go check them out. And don't forget to Panda Push Up Play, Powerball and Powerball Plus for 48 million rand in total estimated jackpots today, and you can hit it lucky.
Oh, honey, we already know that we are so lucky, Expresso family, because we're with you. But there's so much to find there on the social media streets, you understand? Because now you're finding out how you could possibly become a millionaire with the lotto and Panda Push a Play. But then you're also getting into conversation with us on hashtag Expresso Show. Remember, I was reading out some of the comments earlier on, but we want yours. Go and tell us, what is your favorite indoor workout to do whenever it is a cold winter's day? I know that sometimes trying to exercise when it's cold outside, it's hard, okay? I'd rather just stay in bed and then go do what I have to do when it comes to work. However, we know it's always good to get our bones moving, get those bodies up and about. So what is that workout that is a little bit easier than everything else? Can I tell you mine? Because I hadn't actually. Mine would be sit-ups. I definitely think that that's one of my favorite things to do. It literally feels easy. I start feeling the burn in my tummy, and then I almost trick my body into thinking it's done more work than it has. So then, you know, while I'm laughing, or even while I'm eating, there's that pain that comes because I'm like, I've been working out. I am a fitness bunny, even though it's not the truth. But that's what it makes me feel like. So that's the one I enjoy, especially on a winter's day. What is yours? Hashtag Expresso Show and 063-408-8863 on WhatsApp. Now, I always tell you that one of my favorite things about the show is that we've got the ups and we've got the up and ups. And by that, I mean, we always get into such different things, whether it is sports or perhaps even a little bit of exercise. And then there's also one of my favorites, as single as I am, which is love. We're going to be talking about the relationship vibes in a bit, but you got to stick around because we always get a little bit of your input in it. But I also think that we always have something to share. You know, we always have different experiences as people, and this is why we're able to talk from different places and maybe allow someone to see a different perspective. So we're going to be getting into a little bit of Relationship Tuesday right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And trust me, you want to stick around for it because, like I said, there's always something to learn. And then on top of all of that, we're still continuing with everything that you love, and particularly with us being in Women's Month, we're going to be celebrating some more beautiful ladies that are in the music space, that are in fitness, and so much more. And I'm telling you today, I like to say we're your plug, ne? We make sure that you know about the things you need to know about before you leave the house. So this is why we're actually going to be getting to know a young lady who is having her debut album out. It is so beautiful, I think, to be able to celebrate women in the month of August, but all around in the year. It needs to happen all the time. It mustn't just be in this month of the woman. Every year must be about the woman. Every year must be about how we can empower each other and how we can lift each other up. I also tell you this, though, that I know for us, when we talk about the morning as well, it's all about what can we do to make sure that we started off being in the best of us. So this is why I say stick around, because you are going to get the best version of you right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. With that being said, one of my absolute faves, Carl, is standing by with the news headlines.
And we decided to go a bit early, just before 7 o'clock. And let's start off nationally. The Electricity Minister, Josiencio Ramagopa, revealed that while 10 million households qualify for free basic electricity, only 2 million have access due to registration delays. He stressed the need to protect poor households from load shedding and load reduction, reaffirming the government's commitment to affordable electricity. Ramagopa also announced that Eskom aims to add 2,500 megawatts to the national grid by the end of August, the additional power coming from Medupi, Kusile and Kuburg power stations. South Africa has now experienced 138 days without rolling blackouts. Now, the Special Tribunal has declared the 257 million rand COVID-19 PPE contract awarded to Nkane Products and Supply invalid. Kaiser Kanyago from the Special Investigating Unit, the SIU, welcomed the ruling, calling it a key move against pandemic-related corruption. The SIU investigated the contract after Nkane demanded payment for goods delivered and ordered by the government, which is the Gauteng Health Department, which refused to accept them. Now, Nkane must now cover the SIU's application costs, including those for 2 councils. The case is set to continue in the High Court. That'll be at a later date. Now on to international news. Ukraine's top commander, Alexander Syrsky, reports that Kiev's forces now control 1,000 square kilometers of Russian territory during their largest cross-border incursion in 2.5 years. Ukraine is continuing its offensive in the Kursk region 7 days after it began. The western Russian region has been a growing number of evacuations, and the local governor stated that 28 villages have fallen to Ukrainian forces and 12 civilians have been killed. Ukrainian troops launched the surprise attacks last Tuesday, advancing up to 30 kilometers into Russia. Meanwhile, Kenyan cult leader Paul Mackenzie, who allegedly urged over 400 followers to starve to death, has pleaded not guilty to manslaughter. This case is one of the worst cult-related mass deaths on record. Mackenzie, a self-proclaimed pastor, appeared in court in Mombasa with 94 other suspects. He was arrested in April after 429 bodies, including children, were exhumed from mass graves in Shakola. Many showed signs of starvation and assault. The prosecution plans to present testimony from over 400 witnesses in the coming days. And the US women's gymnastics team celebrated their remarkable success in Paris, bringing home 8 medals. But they all agree that their therapy dog, Beacon, was their secret weapon. The 4-year-old retriever, known as the goodest boy, wasn't just a mascot. He was the emotional backbone of the team. Beacon's handler, Tracy Callahan-Molnar, described him as an emotional sponge, always knowing exactly who needed him most. Wearing his official credential with pride, Beacon's quiet support and calming presence were crucial to the athlete's mental well-being. His ability to connect with each gymnast made him an irreplaceable part of their journey to greatness, proving that sometimes the biggest heroes are the ones with the wagging tails. On that note, hopefully your tails will be wagging when you know exactly what's happening on your roads, and Zanele is standing by.
I am indeed standing by because we want to get you through those roads easily, my lovely. Starting off right in Cape Town. There's congestion on the M5 northbound at N2 inbound ramp. Delays are being experienced, so allow for some added travel time, if you will, yeah? Then what we want you to also know is that whatever it is, when it comes to traffic, we got you at the top of the hour. And my friend, we need to take a look at what's happening in the skies as well for your day. So taking a look at the weather, what does it look like outside? Well, let me tell you, apparently we are going to be facing high risk due to cold fronts, damaging winds and fire danger continue across multiple regions. The South African Weather Service has issued a high risk, or rather high fire risk warning for some parts of the country due to a series of cold fronts affecting the Western Cape. In the past week, wildfires have caused damage in Parys, in the Free State, Vereeniging in Gauteng, and parts of the northwest. As the cold front moves inland, the low pressure system is bringing strong winds, which combined with dry conditions heighten the fire danger. This warning applies until tomorrow for the northeastern Northern Cape. And additionally, damaging winds are expected between Cape Columbine and Cape Agulhas, and in the southern Northern Cape and the central Karoo. Now, just continuing with that, we also want you to know that the parts of the Eastern Cape are also affected. Now, we also asked you to let us know 063-408-8863, or rather show us, what does your side of life look like? What does that sunrise see in terms of you and looking outside? And friend, we want to absolutely say thank you so much to the lovely, lovely Trish from Caledon, who actually let us in on this gorgeous picture. Take a look. It almost looks like a picture itself for real. A little bit of a painting, if you will. Those colors coming together so beautifully. And I think that's such a lovely thing to see, starting off in the morning and just seeing again a new dawn, a new rise, and just a new day that is full of so much hope and so many blessings. So thank you so much, Trish. We absolutely adore it. For now, though, Expresso family, let's take a look at your temperatures.
Temperatures across, you know exactly what to wear today, and it's that time of the year. Let's get into your sporting action. A lot of gossip when it comes to the football world and confirmation of certain signings. Atletico Madrid has secured Argentine striker Julian Alvarez from Manchester City in a blockbuster deal, potentially with 85 million euros. The 24-year-old, instrumental in City's 2 Premier League titles and the Champions League, as well as Argentina's World Cup triumph, has signed a 6-year contract, bolstering Atletico's attacking options for the upcoming season. Now, staying with football, AC Milan has signed Brazilian defender Emerson Royal from Tottenham Hotspur for an initial 15 million euros with potential add-ons of 2 million euros. The 25-year-old, who has 10 caps for Brazil, has committed to the Rossoneri until June 2028 with an option for a further year. Milan kicks off their league campaign against Torino. That'll be this Saturday evening. Let's stay with football. Stellenbosch has sold skipper Dino van Rooyen to Orlando Pirates, where he signed a 3-year deal with an option for 2 more. Van Rooyen, who has dropped from the top 8 quarter-final due to the move, leaves after 8 years and a club record number of appearances. Meanwhile, striker Ikram Reynolds is expected to join Mamelodi Sundowns soon. And wrapping with golfing action, Scottie Scheffler secured an $8 million bonus for finishing #1 on the 2024 PGA Tour's Comcast Business Tour Top 10. The 28-year-old world #1 claims 6 tour victories, including the Masters and the Paris Olympics gold medal. Xander Schauffele finished second, earning $6 million, followed by Rory McIlroy in third with $4.8 million. And that's it for your sport for now. Another update in 1 hour, but still lots ahead on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Zanele, tell us what.
Of course, I will definitely do that, please, with pleasure. First and foremost, my lovely, we're going to be talking about the guys who made us proud, literally just by going to France and being there, representing us for the whole globe to see. I think this was one of the best Olympics we've ever had. And this is why we're going to be talking to Steve Evans about the SA Olympians Association. What work are they doing? What's happening exactly? I want to hear all about it because I believe like our Olympians deserve the world. With that being said, we always like to serve you the world on a silver platter. In the name of food, effortless Clement Gold roast chicken. Everybody loves roast chicken, but how is it absolutely having that delicious touch? Well, you're going to be finding out right here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. We're going to take a short break. It's not long, it's very short. It's kort, and then we'll come back. Don't go anywhere.
With 5 times greater plaque reduction than brushing and flossing alone. For a cleaner mouth and healthy gums. Completes the clean with Listerine.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso here on S3. Now, as the flame sets on the Paris Olympics, we are delighted to have Steve Evans from the South African Olympians Association, an organization dedicated to supporting Olympians and promoting the spirit of Olympism within our communities. Steve, top of the morning. How are you feeling, man?
Great, thanks, Carl. Thanks for having me on.
Anytime. It's overall, our Olympians, you know, I know that the medal haul wasn't exactly what we expected, but do you think that Team SA embodied what we would call Olympism for South Africa?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, everyone went out there, they gave it their best shot. It was brilliant to see the performances and obviously to take home some silverware and goldware.
Absolutely. It's a beautiful feeling. And I think what's important is that people need to know that we have to continue a culture of Olympism and representing the country within the Olympics, and this is where the organization comes in, you know, the SA Olympians organization. I think what's important is to know what that's all about to start off with as just a foundation of this conversation. So what is this association and what is it geared to do?
Sure. So the South African Olympians Association is a chapter of World Olympians Association, which was set up back in the 90s to try and for around two sort of key mandates. So the first one is around supporting athletes post-career, post-sport.
Yeah.
So as they transition into their career, and there's a few initiatives around that we're working on. And then the second one is to promote the values of Olympism in society through social impact projects.
And has that been a help for you as a former Olympian getting involved with the organization or the association, and also some of the things that you've benefited from as well? What are some of those things post-Olympics?
So I think one of the hardest things is kind of refocusing from sport, because literally your career goes by in the click of a fingers or the blink of an eye, and so that transition into normal life or into working life is quite a tricky one. So we provide a lot of support to our athletes in the form of both preparing them whilst they're still competing with various initiatives. We've got a partnership with IBM Skills Build, which is a free platform actually that anyone can go and check out if they want to, and where you can do short verifiable credentials courses, and that can help prepare you sort of whilst you are still competing for that transition to work. And then one of the other things that we also try to do is create a little bit a culture of Olympism in South Africa. So I don't think we celebrate our Olympians as much as perhaps if you were to go to the States, for example, where they literally roll out the red carpet. And
very true. I'm glad you said that.
You may have seen the OLY or the Ollie title, which is a post-nominal title that is being provided by World Olympians. So as an Olympian, you can apply to World Olympians Association for that title. And then part of our role as SOA is to celebrate that. So we're busy planning an award ceremony, which we'll do in the latter part of this year, to present our Olympians with their certificate and gold pin to celebrate the fact that they are Olympians and they are entitled to use it in their title, in the email signatures, in their handles and so on.
I mean, because the thing is, it's not just an event. You're representing an entire country. I think about the amount of hours you put in. And the Olympians, their ages range from, very young teenagers all the way through until what we've seen at the Olympics. I mean, post 50 as well. So I think it's so important to have something that would breed this culture of Olympism far beyond the sports track. And I think that's lovely what SOA are doing. Some of the key initiatives, just to anecdotally give me an idea of what you have implemented beyond the awards, what are other initiatives that you're doing as SOA?
Sure. Yeah, so in the service to society component of what we do, we can apply to World Olympians for grant money to support various projects that are on the ground.
Lovely.
So two projects that we've done most recently. Last year, Melissa Williams, who was our skateboarder from Tokyo, you might remember. So she has a non-profit organization called Skate for Smiles, which supports women in sports, which is obviously very topical this month. And she put on a competition to kind of promote skateboarding, and women's skateboarding. and hopefully the next generation of kids will come through from those kinds of initiatives. The other one is Gert Potgieter, who's one of our older Olympians, competed in 1956 in Melbourne, and he does a lot of work around the Olympic Values Program.
Wow.
And we actually also busy partnering with the Irish Olympians Federation to roll out a program called Dare to Believe, which is a way where you can actually teachers can incorporate the Olympic values into their teaching as part of the curriculum, and then at the end of the period, an Olympian will come into your school and speak to you about their journey.
That's so incredible. Because, I mean, maths was always a long jump for me. So, like, that's why I think it's such a good way to look at Olympic foundation and then also connected to education, which is profound. So for any Olympian who's perhaps sitting on the couch watching your Feel Good Breakfast shows thinking like, yeah, I got myself a medal or I represented South Africa, and they don't know about SOA, how do they connect with you to try and say, hey, I'd love to do the good work. I'd love to use what I've been given as a gift and spread it around the country and the world. I think it's important for them to know. And also potential Olympians to know about SOA well before. That's also critical. So how do they go about connecting with you, Steve, and starting this process?
Yeah, look, the best way is to go to our website, which is southafricanolympians.org.za. I think it'll probably be up on screen, but there all the relevant links to register. First of all, for World Olympians with the World Olympians Association, which is where they check and provide your OLY award or your just to check that you are an Olympian, because you have to actually have competed at the games. So you have to have stepped onto the field to be called an Olympian.
So if you were the kit man.
If you were to have been in the village but perhaps not played on the field of play, then you're deemed not to be an Olympian.
Oh, okay.
The other interesting thing is that they say once an Olympian, always an Olympian.
True.
So it's not a case of past Olympians or former Olympians.
Okay.
Once you're an Olympian, you're an Olympian. So so the best thing is to apply through World Olympians Association. We then get a notification of that, and we can add you to all the relevant groups and incorporate you into our programs.
This is incredible. Steve, thank you so much for joining us. I think SOA are doing great work in creating Olympism, not as just a tool to represent a country in sport, but to change the entire world. So well done to you and your team.
Thank you so much.
Lovely. That's Steve from SOA and the South African Olympians Associations. If you are an Olympian, yes, you've competed, then I think you should get involved, because there are some incredible missions for you to take on and a lot of inspiration that we can grab from you as society. So make sure you watch that organization closely. Also, watch the kitchen closely in the next couple of minutes, because I've got a recipe coming up. But first, hello, Zanele.
Hello, my Carl. What if I'm an Olympian in the Eastern Cape, yeah? Because we have like our own little Olympics there. What if I'm an Olympian there? Can I... Okay, maybe we'll have a chat. But go, Steve, go! This is so incredible. Genuinely, I feel like when we talk about some of our athletes, particularly our Olympians, they don't get all of the recognition and all of the beautiful things that they should be getting for going and representing us on a world stage. Do you understand that when you go to the Olympics, you can literally say you're one of the best on the entire planet, which is crazy. Tatiana Smith, she can say that she's #1 for that gold medal, which is absolutely beautiful. And this is why I'm so grateful for the Olympics that we just had. I think that it really reminded everyone of just how hard everyone has to work over those 4 years to get ready. But I also was like, you know what? It's actually not just 4 years. A lot of those people have been doing this for their whole lives, which is such a beautiful thing, because it speaks to the discipline, it speaks to the passion, and it speaks to the hard work and excellence that it takes to get to the Olympics, which is why I absolutely love the fact that we get to celebrate them and have amazing organizations like the one that Steve is heading up. Right about now, though, I know that somebody's heading up the kitchen. What's going on, Carl?
Hey, Zanele, I'm making you something nice. I'm going to send it to Joburg. I hope that it's going to be fine. I need to find a bucky for you. Anyway, citrus season is here, and it's time to get that added dose of vitamin C through Clement Gold mandarins that are sweet and juicy and virtually seedless. So we got a cookbook author over here and a commercial content editor from Taste. Ooh, I love that magazine. Fatima Saib is here, and here to dish up the effortless Clement Gold roast chicken, where tender and juicy chicken meets the brightness of this locally grown citrus fruit. It's gorgeous. But Fatima, hello.
Hi.
welcome.
Thank you.
So you've got great taste.
I hope so.
Yes,
yeah.
you do. You do have great taste. But I think, if you look at something like the humble chicken, it is a South African staple that we love so much. But I think often it's misunderstood. Often people don't understand that you can overcook a chicken while you are walking away from the oven and spending like hours and coming back, oh, I got a chicken in the oven. So what are some of the hacks, tips, tricks, maybe secrets to making sure that this is juicy and delicious?
Oh, Carl, I love a good roast chicken.
Yep.
I'm not even lying. I've probably made over 100. And there are 3 things that are constant all the time. And that is butter. You need really great butter.
Thank you.
Yep. Citrus like lemon gold. And then, of course, chicken stock. Because altogether, it makes it so juicy and succulent and just so delicious.
So that was the 3 staples. I hope you had your pen out for that, by the way. That was just, did you hear that though? There's butter. Okay, think about it though. Chicken stock was in there.
Yeah.
And then your last one was?
Citrus like lemon gold.
Citrus like lemon gold. Do not forget this. We are telling this only once and then it's done. But Fatima, just in terms of lemon gold, it's such it's a unique produce. You know, when someone sees lemon gold, it's like, it's orange. But it's more than that, it's lemon gold mandarins. There's something special about it because it's locally produced as well. What is it about these incredible fruits that you love, especially when it comes to, connecting it with a chicken?
Yeah, they are so versatile. I use them in everything at home, even for salad dressing.
Yes.
But specifically with chicken, I love adding them to a roast because they don't go bitter like other citrus fruits when you bake them.
True.
And they are so juicy and sweet that they actually make the skin really nice and caramelized, like you can see on the one that's finished. It just, it's so good.
Yeah.
And it's fragrant and
Yes.
so tasty, and it just works so well with chicken.
This is crazy. Okay, so I know it's a whole chicken, so we can't get through the entire recipe, but we're going to try and get you through some of the steps to get you along. Otherwise, the recipe will be available to you on expressoshow.com. So, Muniwarini, it's fine. We got you covered. So, Fatima, just to start, the building blocks. What shall we do here? How can I assist? Put me in, coach. What are we going to do today?
Okay, so number 1, butter, right?
Butter.
So I'm going to sort that out. I'm going to grate some garlic into the butter.
Okay.
And we're going to put it under the skin. But while I'm doing that, if you could combine all of this together. So this is olive oil, some lemon, some honey,
vinaigrette,
mustard, and the chicken stock, and then just give it a good whisk.
It's got like a vinaigrette vibe to it. I see you got the mustard and honey in there as well, a bit of citrus. What do you do? Okay, this is great.
It just makes the flavor pop, The honey and the citrus just works so well.
Yeah. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to eyeball everything. Is that fine?
Yes, of
course.
Great.
You see, that's what we have to do.
Measure with your heart.
I would. I always measure with my... How did you know? That's who I am.
I'm the same.
That's how it goes. So, okay, let's get the lemon in there, which is important.
And we're not going to throw that away. We're going to add it into the chicken. We're going to stuff the inside of the chicken with the lemon.
No wastage.
Exactly.
From wasty. Never. Okay.
Exactly.
Fatima, I'm going to, as I said, I'm eyeballing this, so I'm going to just make sure that...
And you're going to see how fast this is to make. As long as your oven is already preheated,
That's
you can
the
get
key,
this
isn't
done in... We should have actually timed this and just seen how...
We would have... I mean, we could actually do this, in record time. That's fine.
So while you're doing that, I'm just going to lift up the skin of the chicken.
Yes.
Gently. We're not going to poke through. I'm going to use a spoon, but you can just use your fingers. It's really okay. Clean hands.
Okay, by the way, that is... it's a hack of mine as well. Okay, whenever I do chicken, I do this part over here. I get in my gloves and I work it through because I think that, you see, that's the thing about a chicken itself is that you've got, see on the other side of it, you've got bone and flesh that's very close together.
Yeah.
On this side with the breast, you have to think about the fact that the heat has to permeate all the way through there, and so does the seasoning.
Yeah.
So the way we get that seasoning to try and penetrate all the way through is that to actually use under the skin so that the heat is then almost steaming it, in that flavor, which is great. Oh, this is such a great team working here,
And you know what I love doing is putting the, well, I think you actually should be doing this, is putting the garlic under the skin.
Yes.
Because if you put it on top, it's going to burn. And no one wants burnt garlic on their chicken.
It's not.
You want garlic in it, but not burnt. So I'm just going to push the batter all the way in. And don't be shy. Go wild.
Yeah, of course.
You can't have enough butter.
That's true. And you know, okay, I'll tell you what, there's not even a disaster with butter because you know what will happen with the butter? You're not going to waste it because that's the drippings in the pan.
Exactly.
Which then will permeate through if you're going to drop like potatoes in there or carrots in there.
Which we are.
It's gonna, are we doing that?
Yes.
Fatima, where have you been? Where have you been? That's the best part of it. You know what I also love? Those funky bits of garlic.
Oh, yeah?
That sit around the roasting pan.
Yeah.
That's like chewy. and gnarly and okay,
So
sorry, I'm
good.
getting hungry. This is great.
So
okay,
good.
so we got our stock.
I'm just going to push this.
It's ready to
in.
go.
That's awesome. That was so fast. Yeah, so you're just going to throw.
I've already vinaigretted this in here. So we're going to
Amazing.
throw, as I said, I'm
grab this.
eyeballing this whole thing. Because what type of consistency are we looking for this?
Just nice and liquid that we can pour it over.
You're going to pour it over?
Yeah.
This is going to
But
be
we
great.
still need some Clement Gold, so I'm actually going to come grab.
Yes.
I'm going to grab 3.
You also can never have enough Clement Gold.
No.
Did you mention that? Butter and Clement Gold. That's the key to this recipe.
It's a
you
match
never have
made
enough.
in heaven. And I mean, just look at how juicy this is. Come on.
Oh, yes.
Come on.
Thank
I
you.
mean,
And that was like a one hand.
One hand.
Like, I feel like you're kind of
Look at
showing
that.
off a little bit now.
I am.
Okay,
With Clement
that's
Gold, you
good.
kind of have to.
Yes, very, very true.
But I'm also going to stuff inside the cavity as well. And you know what, Carl?
Oh, you see,
I'm going to
this.
just add some more in there.
Okay, you know what? I don't mind.
Yeah.
Because then I can also just show off here and just.
And I love
like a
roasting
tap.
it. I love just adding it like this.
It's like
because
a-
it gets nice and caramelized.
That's it. This is great.
So good.
It
so
is.
We're also going to add our potatoes. You can use any veggies you like. You can use celery, you can use fennel.
This is
Honestly, just
amazing.
open your fridge and just use what you have.
And let's not
no
waste. Let's not waste any of these. Eh?
No,
this is
no.
also great. In fact, like if you really want to get proper sexy with it, you know what I would do?
What?
I know this kind of off recipe.
Tell me.
Okay, let's do this.
Okay.
Okay,
Are you going to zest it?
we're gonna zest this baby.
Love that.
I'm just saying, if you zest it, what you're gonna do is you get that beautiful brightness and those natural oils from the Clement Gold. Once again, this is local produce. It's fantastic. Those little oils over there, they also just add this fantastic flavor on top, which
Yeah.
I really appreciate, and it's going to accentuate everything else here. Sorry, did I just
Can you
add something to the
smell
recipe?
that?
I did.
The
I did,
smell.
and this was the zest as well, which I'm appreciating.
so good.
You see what it did there? I just gave it a little bit of a schwa schwa.
You added your own touch.
I
and I'm
had
here
to.
for
I'm
it.
sorry. I know
I'm
it's
here.
off recipe, but I just had to do it because the Clement Golds are so.
Fine.
It's such a beautiful produce, and I think that even if you look at the skin of a Clement Gold as
Yeah.
well, it's bright. It's gorgeous. Those oils are going to do the work for you. It's even going
Exactly.
to make the skin crispier. Come on,
And you know what? Can I give you a tip?
please.
If you ever need more recipes, taste. We have so many awesome Clement Gold recipes. So just go on to taste and look at what we have,
You know,
and you
the-
can make everything and anything.
You know, Fatima, there was one day where Taste actually interviewed me and put me in
Really?
that magazine. You know that?
Oh.
Yes, it was a long time ago.
Probably before my time.
I said way
think
before
this
your
is done.
time, and I was just thinking, like, you know, it's been a while, Taste.
Ooh.
You know, I wanted to know if, you know,
Okay.
Taste is ready for the wasty.
I think in our
you know,
next content meeting,
I
I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna be like, this guy is just. wants
I
to be
think
on
I think
Taste
it's I
again."
think it's time. I would like to be, because then what we could call that episode of Taste, if you want to call it that, is Tasty Mr. Wasty. Because then basically it's like the Taste logo, but then it's tasty. I think that's a good idea.
You see, I was gonna say Carl Tasty.
But that also works as well.
Yeah, it
that's fine. It's my
does.
alter
It does.
ego when I'm cooking.
Yeah,
You know? Yeah.
really?
Call Tasty, of course.
I love that.
Did you not know?
No.
No. Sorry, we're not wasting anything, are we?
We're not. No,
Not
no,
at
no.
all.
But we are basically done. All this needs is to go in the oven. And what I love about this
Yes.
is that you can actually prep this ahead. So sometimes I'll make it like a day even before the time, keep it in the fridge, and then just put it in the oven when I'm ready.
Would you like to offer us some sage advice on anything?
Visit Taste for more recipes.
Thank you very much. That's it. That's it. So remember, Clement Gold, I know you love it. That recipe was great. I'm sorry I added the zest, but now just remember that and
I
then
love
add
it.
it to the recipe. But
I love it.
Yeah, it's great. Fatima, you've been fantastic. Honestly, we can cook together any day. Now celebrate
Anytime.
citrus season with Woolworths. You can buy 2 Clement Gold mandarins 1 kilogram bags and save 15 Rand in store, online and on the app. Plus, shop in store and get the Clement Gold mandarins tray. That is for only 64.99, and you save a whole 10 Rand. So please, let's not waste any more time. Go grab yours, get this recipe sorted, make your own, but enjoy local produce like Clement Gold.
We connect more countries than any other airline. Turkish Airlines.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
You're still on your Feel Good Breakfast show, honey, and I promise you things are only about to get sweeter because we are getting into the spirit of continuing to celebrate incredible women. And this morning we are celebrating none other than Anela Jamina. She is born and bred in Cape Town, and she today is getting into how she is dropping her debut album. And I cannot wait for us to hear all about it. And yes, we are going to be getting a performance from her as well. But then we are also hearing about her story, where I know that at the age of 18, she started off in an incredible cultural collective, which is all about, rather, using music as a tool for social change. And it was called Sounds of the South. Everybody, please can we welcome Anela Jamina. Thank you. Anela, how are you, my baby?
I'm good. It's great to be here.
It's great
just
to have
exciting
you.
at this moment, yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad,
Yeah.
my love. A born and bred Cape Town baby.
Yeah.
And of course, you guys have your own way of doing things in Cape Town, hey? You know this.
Like Kinji.
Exactly. So this is why I have to ask you, how did Cape Town influence the kind of music that you decided to go into?
You know, recently I was part of a project called The Streets Are Alive, True Sounds of the South. And I think it has always been that, you know, that culture of the streets being alive.
Yes.
It's either you are seeing, like in the corner, young youth just singing a cappella music. If it's not that, it's dancers. If it's not that, it's us, like, you know, it's Rasta people putting out sound out there for young people to come and engage in the conversation. So I think the culture grew inside of me even more that today here I am.
Yeah, honey, on Expresso and doing the things about to drop your debut album.
Can I just say, pa 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 pa?
Come on.
Scientists stand up. ILHR 7784. Anela is representing.
That's right, and you're representing so well, my love. An album is not a small feat, but I also know that for you, music isn't just a means of entertainment.
Yeah.
It's also all about expression and even allowing, you know, it to be a form of resistance. So with you and your music, what exactly are you expressing?
You know, I'm unpacking.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the expression. It's to unpack the daily struggles, you know, the process of life that we go through, and that takes us to somewhat deep, dark spaces. But at the same time, we always must have that faith that there is a silver lining in every dark cloud. At the end of the tunnel, there's always a light. And that's basically what The Rise is about. It's about unpacking my story as Anela Jamina, because I think I've dedicated 16 years of my life into doing something that is bigger than Anela, which is the work that I was doing with Sounds of the South. You know, unpacking working class stories and seeing to it that we come together to find resolutions to going forward as young black youth of South Africa. And now I'm saying, you know, Anela Jamina, you know, from Sounds of the South, but now get to know Anela Jamina, The Rise.
Come on, and when I'm a babes, you have Winnie Mandela inside of you. As you were talking, I was just like, a fighting spirit. I love it, and particularly
There's something about the vibration of my voice. I'm actually getting to know.
I love that. And girl, it is a voice that is going to go across the world. Because I feel like even the fact that you don't just do it for entertainment, but rather for social change, it's incredible. So you mentioned the fact that you obviously joined the Sounds of the South for a specific reason. How did you get into it?
Yeah, it was one of these sessions that you get, like in Kukuletu, we had all NYs, and every young person from Kaelicha, KTC, Kukuletu would just rock up and get an opportunity to be on stage.
Wow.
And it was like really terrifying because it was my first time having to meet other young people like me who are doing music. And for the first time when I went on stage, I was just shaking. But when I saw how the crowd was receiving my work, I just knew this was it. You know, this was the moment for us to speak to the times. You know, I take a lot of great pleasure in listening to Nina Simone, and she does speak about the artist's responsibility. You know, it is always to speak to the times, because if you don't, then therefore the gift and the art itself is defeated, because it's always going to focus on what you think people want want to hear.
Sure.
But rather, why don't you write what you think people want to say? Because not a lot of people have this opportunity that you have to stand in front of crowds and represent them.
I love that, giving a voice to the people.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And of course, I also know that with you, you're multi-talented while you are allowing yourself to be a voice, because you not only get into hip-hop, reggae, but also soul music.
Yeah.
So speak to me about this. Which one do you find the easiest and why?
I think both hip hop and reggae have been able to allow me to fully express. Because I think with time and going on in life, we want to escape the feeling. You know, it's either of pain or frustration. But I think both these genres are giving and allowing that space, because from its inception, there were music that spoke to working class struggles, that spoke to, you know, everyday struggles of young people. When they came together from the Bronx, when they came together within even the inspiration of Bob Marley, it comes from young people, you know, young people speaking truth to power. And so I felt like there was a lot in me that I needed to let out. And with that music, I was able to do it. And with the Rise, I tried to attempt a bit of soul, you know, a bit of like, you know, the more happy and feminine me, you know, and not really strong, come out really strong all the time, because it does really get tiring to be strong. There's a moment in time where we want to move past and begin a process of unlearning and reshaping yourself, and at some point heal.
Yes, and I'm just a girl.
Yes.
I'm just a girl.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
Anila, I thank you so much, my love. And I'm so excited that you're not going anywhere. We still got a lot more to chat about, a lot more to see in terms of your beautiful voice. But this is the thing, Expresso family. You got to make sure you stick around, because this much I can tell you, you're going to be blown away by this gorgeous lady's talent. In fact, it's a gift. And this is why you got to make sure you don't go anywhere. Stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast show.
Thank you.
Honestly, Zanele, that is talent with a purpose, and I'm loving that sentiment as well. We know artists for one reason, but sometimes you just want to know a bit more about them, and that one, fantastic. Looking forward to a performance a little bit later. But for now, as we continue to celebrate Women's Month, what better way to honor the incredible women in our lives than by spending quality time with our besties. Now, today we've got something extra special lined up for you. We'll be hanging out with a bestie, the lovely Carissa, sharing laughs, stories, and of course, indulging in delicious Omar rusks. And we all know, with Omar rusks, snack time is always dipping delicious. Let's dip into that with Carissa.
Relaxation is so important, I think even more so because it doesn't come around as often as I need it to. And I just need to have moments in my day or even in my week where I can sit back and breathe and just kind of take note of the moments of my week and days that require a little bit more attention. And there's nothing quite like a game of 30 seconds, as long as it's friendly rivalry. Right, ladies?
Yes. Let's go, girl.
So in South Africa, it's a province, and Durban's there as well. Good job. Okay.
It's a channel we used to watch when we were little, like Cartoon Network. Little ears. I love a little bit of competition and just knowledge in general. Oh, this is so exciting.
She is married to another famous person, Justin Timberlake. She's
Jessica Biel.
Having a girls' day is important to me because it gives me time to unwind and reconnect with my close friends. Coming together and spending time together is much needed for the soul.
While I love my own company, I also just love spending time with my girls because it's sometimes just good to gain some perspective from people that really know you and have your best interests at heart. So it's just a time where we skinner a little bit and a really great time to just share some tea and rusks and great moments.
The rice that Carissa put out is so amazing, especially the Yum Yum caramel gems. It's amazing. Melt in your mouth, it's so nice. I've always been an original buttermilk girl, but after tasting the Yum Yum caramel, my favorite has changed.
Well, ladies, that was so much fun, even though some of us played more fairly than others, but that's okay. We'll make it up later. I'm thinking a pamper sesh might be in order, yes? Okay, let's go, let's go.
You know, it's so important to actually give yourself permission to relax. I think that life gets so hectic and so busy, and our schedules are just back to back, that you need to intentionally take a moment, please just take a break and have some me time. I mean, who doesn't want that? I love being a girl, can I just say that? And I love hanging out with my girls too, my favorite people, and just having a moment where we can put on a face mask and not judge each other by the skinner that we bring to the table, paint our nails, and just do very like girly things, just to have a space to do that and feel really held. It's so special. Well, it feels like today can't even get any better, but I think let's end off with a little catch-up sesh with the girls around some coffee and rusk. Yes? Let's do it. I must say, guys, my favorite part of today was playing 30 seconds.
Same. Even though we didn't win.
That's okay.
It's okay.
My favorite moment was when I first tasted these yum yum caramel. When I realized I have a new favorite flavor.
Yep. Wow, guys, I won't lie, this has been a lifesaver. I definitely need to schedule more girl time going forward.
Definitely.
Please. Well, that's where we wrap up today. We'll enjoy these. And from us girls, goodbye.
Love it. The besties all together with Carissa, fantastic. And it shows you that snack time is always dipping delicious with Omar Rusks and your friends.
Omar Rusks, the ultimate snack time treat. Dipping delicious, tasty, filling, satisfying.
What I like about us as a family, ne, is the fact that we always are on the same page when it comes to just discovering delicious food. Which is why, yes, we're always talking about Omar Rusks, but we also are always getting into delicious new trends. So what we are going to be getting into when we talk about taste testing viral cheese trends, I actually don't 100% know, but that's why you need to stick around, because I want to know what exactly is going on there. And then we're also going to be getting to be blown away by the gorgeous Anela Jamina. She is in the building and we got to know her a bit better, but now it's time to hear that soothing, delicious voice. It's going to be happening right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this.
Beat even the most stubborn cough with tartrazine-free Expigen cough syrup, effectively relieving congestion by loosening phlegm to let you breathe more freely. Better still, 2 lucky Expresso viewers each stand the chance to win 4,000 Rand cash by answering the questions on the Expigen competition posts on Expresso's social media pages, using hashtag #AdcockOTCWinter in your answer. Competition closes 16th August. T's and C's on expressoshow.com.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso, as you know, and today we are going to do a bit of a social media tasting challenge. It is all the cheese trends that we have, you know, and I like something that's cheesy. You know, it's something that I love. I will live with it every single day. But today we will be tasting and rating some of the most popular social media cheese trends. And let's find out which ones are actually worth the hype and which ones are a fail. And the best people to chat to are two incredible culinary masters, geniuses in their own right, people who know cheese like the back of their grater. We've got two chefs over here, Chef Tiffany, who you may not see all the time on the show, but whenever you see a recipe, right, the individual who sets it up and makes it look beautiful is Chef Tiffany, and then, of course, Chef Bass. This man is not only a baker, but he's always on a roll. That's probably why he's a baker. That's lovely. So, this is how it's going to work. In front of us, we have a couple of those viral trends. We'll watch a bit of a video, get the idea, give it a taste, and then find out exactly what we think about it. The chefs are here and ready. First, let's chat to the chefs. Chef Tiffany,
Yes.
let's chat to you first.
Yes.
It's really great to have you in the
you.
kitchen, but like in the kitchen.
I'm very nervous.
Don't be nervous.
I'm very nervous.
That's fine. Don't be nervous, okay? I just want to say that you're in good hands. Chef Bass and I are going to be very kind to you. It's going to be good.
We'll try.
Bass, have you seen any of these trends in your time? And
I
which one do you
have.
think is probably going to work? Just as a before.
Definitely the sticks.
The sticks?
Yeah.
Okay, and you, Chef Tiffany, which one looks like it could work out for you?
The sticks also, but I think
Okay.
I like the chip vibe. It's kind
Uh-huh.
of cute. I'm not convinced on the tacos yet.
As well.
Ooh.
Because, you know, you want that crunchy shell.
Yes.
I don't think it's going to give, eh?
Okay, well, chefs, we have a little video before we try the first trend. Let's get into that right now and find out where this idea and concept comes from. Let's take a look.
Crispy cheese Mississippi pot roast tacos. All right, this is how I do my cheese tacos. I put some cheese down on a pan, medium heat, and I let it cook, and it has to cook longer than you think it needs to. Once it starts to get crisp around the edge, loosen it up and flip it over. That's when you dab that sucker off with paper towels. And then I move it to another paper towel that's been put over a cup and kind of squish it so it forms that taco shape. Filled it with avocado and Mississippi pot roast, and it was way better than it should have been.
All right, so basically we have the chefs trying this amazing taco recipe. We don't have Mississippi pot roast. What we do have is good traditional South African mince to put into our taco. So let's see if this taco actually talks the taco. We'll find out now by Chef Tiffany and Chef Bass. Let's check it out. I'd like to offer these to you.
So before I even taste it, Cole, what I want to say is
Please
I
say it.
love my cheese to be melty, oozy, gooey. So really, like, I'm not here for the crisp.
Oh, you're not here for the crisp of the
No.
cheese. Okay, but by the way, you know, let's go back in the day. Remember the snack which back in the day?
Yeah.
Those outer crispy bits? Is that not
was
what
the
this is
best.
trying to give?
Yes.
Let's try to give that.
Yeah.
But I'm worried about this. So I want you two to
I'm gonna
try.
go in, I'm gonna go in.
I'm also going to give you a paddle later for you to get an idea over
even know where
here.
to
So
bite.
that's a bite from Chef Bass. That's the first one. Chef Tiffany is going in for the next one. Well, right, while you're doing that, you know that Clover's Natural Cheese range, which is what we use for this recipe, is available in 400 grams, 550 grams, and 800 gram packs, which is perfect for every occasion and culinary need like tacos. Just an idea. Right, the paddles in front of you, just to let you know what the paddles look like. We've got Success in one, and we've got Hot Mess in the other one. Okay, Success, Hot Mess, Success. This is basically the paddles that we get shown in the kitchen by these chefs when we get recipes wrong live in the show. So just so you know where we got them from. For the taco, you've tasted it. You know what? I haven't heard one not a single not a single like, oh, this lekker. Nothing. So is it a success or hot mess?
You go first.
Okay, I don't
Okay.
want to be, I would say a hot mess because I am not convinced. So the cheese taco is not giving what it's supposed
Not giving
to.
it all.
I'm gonna
Okay.
agree with. Can I go here? Can I go here?
What, like in the middle?
Like a middle.
So
Just sit on the fence. Like, yeah.
Just, okay,
The
why?
thing is,
Why?
hot mess because of what I said to you earlier. I'm not here for that. It's just personal preference.
Okay.
But I think it could work if it were, like, obviously we've made this a little bit ahead of time.
Yes.
If it were a little bit more crispy, maybe it was there with that crunch, feeling that with the guac in the middle, could be nice.
Okay, great. Chef Tiffany made these, man. So, do you think that could be one of the problems at the
Hot mess.
That's hot mess.
Hot
Okay,
mess.
perfect. Just was checking.
Tell the people you like.
Let's get another video, shall we? Let's move on swiftly.
You have to make these crispy, flaky cheese sticks. Just listen to that crunch. Lay out a puff pastry sheet and spread out freshly grated cheese. Fold in half and add some egg wash and more cheese. Then cut into strips and twist. Baking directions are in the caption. A light, crispy appetizer that can be served by themselves or dipped in ranch. Enjoy and follow me for more.
I mean, that looks lekker. I'm not going to lie, that looks good. However, we've made it earlier. Let's find out from our chefs if it actually works. So, you may take one of these cheese sticks and see if this is going to be a recipe that you will stick with. Let's find out. Okay, and while you're tasting, the 400 gram and 800 grams, these are available in Gouda, by the way, with regard to our amazing Clover cheese we've used over here. And you've got, you've got Gouda, Gouda, up to you, the way you want to say it, cheddar, tusses, and white cheddar, while the 550 gram is available in cheddar and Gouda, Gouda. Let's find out if they enjoyed their chowder. Success or hot mess with the sticks.
Success.
Success.
Pastry. Pastry. I mean, if there's pastry involved, I'm in. Pastry and cheese together. I would have.
Yes.
Definitely.
Okay. No.
Sure.
Please tell the chef.
I would have put a little bit of a dip there, just for, well.
I didn't make this, but anyway, I'll go for it. Best is coming for me on live TV.
Hear me out.
Thank you, Cole. Yeah.
You can just repurpose the dips from the other sections. That's at least what Chef Tiffany would shout at me while I'm doing a recipe live. It's like, just use the salt that's there, man.
You guys are enjoying this. I'm going to get you back. Okay, I'm going to go next now. So I would say success. I love it. I think it's nice. I like the garlic in there. There's some herbs in there also. I like it. I think it's lekker.
So success. Lekker,
Baie
success.
lekker. Diana.
I like that. Okay, well, let's check on the next video and next challenge.
One of my favorite easy low-carb snacks are these dill pickled cheddar chips. If you have a regular muffin pan, that's totally fine. I just make mine in a muffin top pan, which I love because the wells are so shallow. Fill all the slots with cheddar cheese, top with 2 to 3 slices of dill pickles, and sprinkle with everything bagel seasoning. Then bake at 375 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes until the edges start to brown. After they come out of the oven, I like to sprinkle them with some flaky sea salt. Let them sit for a couple minutes, then transfer to paper towels to drain off all that grease. And yes, these are nice and crispy as they cool. For the full written recipe and details, there's a link in my bio. Enjoy.
So, Chef Tiffany, did you not read the link in the bio? Where's the pickles on this one? But that's okay, because we're going to try it anyway. By the way, this cheese is perfect for experimenting trending recipes like these ones. So, thanks to the high quality and the variety of flavors, delicious taste, you're going to enjoy this one. That's fine. So this is the pickleless version, because some people don't follow links in bio. We're not going to mention who, but we will get into hot mess or success. They're tasting as we speak. Ooh.
It's Aki.
Is that? Oh, is it? Okay.
Wow.
Thank you. That's the other person we've yet to add to the show.
I'm going to say success. And I'm telling you why. It's giving that edge of the snack wedge that you were talking about earlier.
One, yes.
Oh. Amazing. Saltiness. All there. Here for it.
Okay, great. Quick one. Last one.
Sticks.
Let's go for the sticks. Check out the video first. Let's go.
Homemade cheese sticks are crisp, gooey, and irresistibly good. They're also easy to make. Cut your block of cheese into cheese sticks that are just under ½ an inch thick. Next, set up your breading stations. In the first bowl, combine flour and garlic salt and stir it together. In the second bowl, thoroughly beat your eggs together with a fork. In the third bowl, add your seasoned Italian breadcrumbs. Start by dipping your cheese sticks in the flour, tapping off the excess, then transfer to the egg wash. The secret to the best cheese sticks is to repeat.
Okay, we're going to leave it right there, because this video, it goes on for about 3 hours, so there's a quicker way to get there. That's why we have Chef Tiffany and Chef Bass trying it. Chef, cheese sticks, are they working? Are they not working? Is it a mid? Is it mid?
No, success.
Oh,
Sorry.
You gave me the mid.
Sorry.
Immediately, yes.
Is that a yes?
I'm here for this.
Why
Give me all
are
of it.
you
I'll
liking
finish
this
whole plate?
Why? Okay, hold on. Why are you liking this more? What's happening? What's the
Oozy,
difference?
gooey, cheese pool.
Delicious.
All of it. I'm here
Cheese
for it.
pool, very important. That's that lovely stringiness that you get from the cheese. That's what happens when you have quality cheese. That's how it goes. This is great.
Stunning.
Thank you, Clover. This is fantastic. So, overall, we're saying tacos, yeah.
No.
Yes.
Definitely yes.
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 And yes. 3 out of 4 is not too bad for some trending recipes. Thank you so much, chefs. This is fantastic. You two are what I call a sweet success. That's what they are. Now, to elevate your snack game or impress your guests at your next soiree, head on over to expressoshow.com for these easy, cheesy recipes that are guaranteed to be a success. As we get into somebody else's success, our amazing performer up in Joburg, Zanele, I'll let you intro.
It's true. She's such a success indeed. You know what? From upping your game and elevating it in terms of, you know, what it is you should have at the next party that you have, to what music you should probably be listening to in your playlist. And this is why this morning, the successful, amazing, ever gifted Anela Jamina is here. And everybody, she's performing simply the best. Let's welcome her to the stage, please.
Yeah, you simply the best, better than the rest, one in a million. You, Mama, simply the best, better than the rest, one in a million. You, Mama, ulithemba lami lokuphila nguwe, manino lahlwa nguwe, ndiyophalala njengamanzi, ithemba lami lokuphila mama, cela undibambe ngesandla emlilweni ndingoyeli, nhliziyo yakho mama, noba sedonile, indamkela ngesifudumele izandla. You're a true definition of indlovu kaze ngasindwa ngumboko wayo. Oh, mama, you simply the best. Mama, better than the rest. Hey, yeah. Oh, you simply the best, better than the race, one in a million. You, Mama, simply the best, better than the rest, one in a million. You, Mama, Mama, simply the best. Hey, yeah. Mama, better than the rest. Yeah. Mama, simply the best. Yeah. Said you better than the rest. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, come on, everybody. Oh, her name is Anela Jamina, and she is not going anywhere, honey, because like I told you, we're continuing with celebrating women, but we're also celebrating her debut album, The Rise. She's going to be still performing again right here on your Feel Good Breakfast show, but we still got a whole lot more coming up, but you won't know about it if you go anywhere. So stay exactly where you are. We're going to take a short break.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. We missed you. It is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, and let's take a look at your news for the last time on the show. And starting off nationally, now, Muraudi Cholota, former Free State Prime Minister Ace Magashule's personal assistant, appeared in Bloemfontein's Magistrates Court yesterday in connection with the controversial asbestos roof case. The 37-year-old faces charges of fraud, corruption and money laundering related to a 255 million rand asbestos contract from 2014. Cholota, who has been studying in America since 2020, was extradited in South Africa last week, or to South Africa, I should say. Her family was present in court. The case has been adjourned to today for a formal bail application, which the state has indicated it will oppose. Now, Electricity Minister Josientsho Ramaphosa revealed that while 10 million households qualify for free basic electricity, only 2 million have access due to registration delays. He stressed the need to protect poor households from load shedding and load reduction, reaffirming the government's commitment to affordable electricity. Ramaphosa also announced that Eskom aims to add 2,500 megawatts to the national grid by the end of August, with additional power coming from the Medupi, Kusile and Koeberg power stations. South Africa has now experienced 138 days without rolling blackouts. On to international news. Paul Kagame has been inaugurated for a fourth term as Rwanda's president after securing 99% of the vote in the July 15 election, with only 2 candidates opposing him. Kagame's swearing-in was attended by numerous African heads of state and thousands of guests at the 45,000-capacity Amahoro National Stadium in Kigali. In his oath, Kagame pledged to uphold peace, national sovereignty and unity, and to avoid using his powers for personal gain. He also vowed to face legal consequences if he fails to honor his oath. Now, Ukraine's top commander, Alexander Syrsky, reports that Kiev's forces now control 1,000 square kilometers of Russian territory during their last cross-border incursion in 2.5 years. And of course, Ukraine is continuing its offensive in the Kursk region 7 days after it began. The western Russian region has seen a growing number of evacuations. The local governor stated that 28 villages have fallen to Ukrainian forces and 12 civilians have been killed. Ukrainian troops launched the surprise attack last Tuesday, advancing up to 30 kilometers into Russia. And in a breathtaking finale to the Paris 2024 Olympics, Hollywood legend Tom Cruise stunned audiences with a daring entrance at the closing ceremony. As the crowd gasped in awe, the Mission Impossible star descended from the Stade de France, and that was from the roof, clad in his iconic leather jacket and gloves. Cruise's dramatic arrival was perfectly timed with a rocking guitar performance by her. The excitement peaked as Cruise, in a pre-recorded film, traveled through Paris to Hollywood, where he unfurled the Olympic colors at the iconic Hollywood sign. In a thrilling movement, he received the Olympic flag from American gymnast Simone Biles before zipping away on a motorbike, marking an unforgettable handover to Los Angeles, the next Olympic host. And that's for your news and your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Let's get you to work. Zanele has your traffic.
It's true. See, the thing is, we want the mission of you getting to work on time, wherever it is you're going, to be possible. Thank you very much. So let's take a look at what's happening in the roads. First and foremost, eMalahleni in Mpumalanga, things are getting a little bit spicy. There's a road closure east of the N4 due to an overturned truck with a spillage of acha. Delays are expected, so make use of an alternative route, please. Then taking a look at Gauteng, Randburg, there has been an accident on the N1 northbound before Malibongwe Drive. As a result, the left shoulder is blocked and traffic is slow moving. Therefore, you must approach the affected area with caution and drive carefully, please. We do want you to be okay this morning.
Apologies for that interruption from Zanele, but don't worry, we'll get back to that a little bit later. Let's get some sporting action to you, our final round. Atletico Madrid, lots of football gossip this time of year. They've secured Argentine striker Julian Alvarez from Manchester City in a blockbuster deal potentially worth 85 million euros. The 24-year-old, instrumental in City's 2 Premier League titles, the Champions League and Argentina's World Cup triumph, has signed a 6-year contract, bolstering Atletico's attacking options for the upcoming season. Now, staying with footy, AC Milan has signed Brazilian defender Emerson Royal from Tottenham Hotspur for an initial 15 million euros with potential add-ons of 2 million euros. The 25-year-old, who has 10 caps for Brazil, has committed to the Rossoneri until June 2028 with an option for a further year. Now, Milan kicks off their league campaign against Torino. That'll be on Saturday night. Now, it's all about football. Let's get you some more of that. In local football, Stellenbosch has sold skipper Dino van Rooyen to Orlando Pirates, where he signed a 3-year deal with an option for 2 more. Van Rooyen, who was dropped from the top 8 quarterfinal due to the move, leaves after 8 years and a club record number of appearances as well. Meanwhile, striker Ikram Reyners is expected to join Mamelodi Sundowns. That is very, very soon. And wrapping up with golfing news, Scotty Scheffler secured an $8 million bonus for finishing #1 in the 2024 PGA Tour's Comcast Business Tour Top 8, or should I say Top 10. The 28-year-old world #1 claimed 6 tour victories, including the Masters and more recently the Paris Olympics gold medal. Xander Schauffele finished second, earning $6 million, followed by Rory McIlroy in third with $4.8 million. And that's wrapping your sport on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Of course, more updates to follow as always every single time we do this morning. And of course, we've got something fantastic for you. Of course, we know that you are standing by for more performances coming up from Johannesburg, as well as some more conversations on our Health Tuesday. So stand by for those. So let's get back to our little interruption with Zanele a little bit earlier. Of course, we need to let you know exactly how to, get the arrangement going for your wardrobe today with regard to temperatures across South Africa. Let's take a look at those. There we go. Those are your weather numbers. Time for your lotto numbers. Now, choose your 6 lucky numbers and play Powerball and Powerball Plus for 48 million rand in total estimated jackpots. That's this Tuesday, which is today. Don't get left behind. You can play Powerball for an estimated 42 million rand and Powerball Plus for an estimated 6 million rand. But as always, if you want to win, you got to play, and this is how you do it. So you can buy your tickets today by walking in store and greeting the individual on the other side of the counter and saying, yes, I'm a winner. You have to be positive about these things. Nationallottery.co.za is the website, or the mobile app works just fine. You can also buy tickets through cell phone banking or by simply dialing *120*7529#. That is for you, SSD. We've posted all the details on our Expresso social media pages, so please go check them out at your leisure. And Panda Push Up Play, Powerball and Powerball Plus for 48 million rand in total estimated jackpots today, and you can hit it lucky. So still ahead, you're going to be very, very lucky on this particular show. We've got entertainers for you, we've got recipes for you, we've got conversations for you. That's all lined up for you on your Feel Good Breakfast show. So make sure you stay right there. We'll miss you if you leave, so stay, okay?
There are stories of strivers, and we're inspired by them all. We invite you to write your story with us. Your story matters. ABSA.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show right here on S3. And my lovely, it is a beautiful Tuesday, and thank you for choosing us. I always say, Nip, Tuesday is close to Wednesday, which is halfway through the week, which is close to Thursday. Thursday is close to Friday, which is the weekend. So we're practically at the weekend if you really think about it, okay? Use that to motivate you. Speaking of motivation, just looking around our country, there's inspiration from every single part, which is why I absolutely love that we have things that we can call our own. You can't go to the USA and find a Stockfell because it is right here in South Africa where Stockfells thrive and where they make a difference in so many people's lives. I'm talking about the fact that Stockfells help people to pay school fees. They help them buy cars, buy homes. And this is why ABSA is here to celebrate you that is making Stockfells even bigger and grander in the country. And we are obviously still continuing with the celebration of the fact that Stockfell Awards are here, courtesy of ABSA. And my friend, you could be a winner. And all you have to do is enter. But you know what? Don't take my word for it. Luckily, we've got a lovely lady in the house who's going to be telling us all about it from ABSA. Everybody, please can we welcome Palisa. Palisa Lengola, how are you?
Hi, thank you for having me.
Of course, thank you for being here. Palisa, I want to please ask you very quickly because, of course, we know that Stockfells are beautiful and original from us in this country. But why is it that you guys decided to launch the Stockfell Awards?
So we are very excited that we have launched the ABSA Stockfell Awards because we wanted to celebrate and honor this old traditional way of saving. We want to say we see you, we want to fuel your success, we want to make sure that really what you are saving for and your common goals, we are partnering with you and we are celebrating you, we are supporting you as ABSA, and we recognize the different things and the different types of Stockfells that are out there, regardless of where you bank. The ABSA Stockfell Awards celebrates you.
I love that, and I also love the fueling you, because we need that fuel to keep going in this country, especially for things such as a Stockfell, because sometimes, you know, people can get a little bit, I don't know, not even apprehensive, but just not sure because you don't know if Mam Tembi's going to pay this or Mam Chabu's going to do that. So this is why it's so nice to just keep people a little bit motivated in terms of doing that. So this is why I want to ask you, you know, in terms of the awards, why is it that you believe that the Stockfell Awards are going to positively impact the Stockfell community?
So for the first time ever, a financial institution is giving money to Stockfells, not Stockfells giving the financial institution money. So that is, we are literally saying we want to reward you for saving and collective empowerment and the community support that you've been doing for so many years. We want to see that. And just like anybody's stories, also Stockfell stories matter. So we want to hear those stories. We are so excited to hear the different types of stories that are going to be coming out of the Stockfells that are going to be nominated. So please, if you know anybody that knows the Stockfells and know they need this recognition and need a bit of this boost in terms of funding, there's 1 million up for grabs.
Yes, honey, 1 million reasons to enter. I love it because, like you said, for once the financial institution is giving money to the Stockfell and not the other way around, which is incredible because, like you say, I think it's really going to encourage people to not just start up Stockfells, but to allow their Stockfells to grow even bigger, which is amazing. But now you said, of course, different types of Stockfells exist. There's also different types of categories. What are they that we can expect from the Stockfell Awards?
So as you know, there's Stockfells, like you mentioned in out there, there's Stockfells for cars, there's Stockfells for houses, there's Stockfells for groceries. So we looked at the holistically, what are Stockfells or what are people are collectively saving for out there, and we came up with the most fitting categories. We've got the most innovative investment Stockfell. So if you think your Stockfell is really doing something amazing where investments are concerned, this is for you. If you travel around the world and you can show us where you've been with your groups, young people, there's Best Travel Club Award. There is also the most unique people. There's things that we don't know what people are saving for anymore. We want to hear those stories. And of course, we know Stockfells have played a very huge role in community support and community impact. There's Best Impact Award in terms of community for Stockfells. So we've got about 9 to 10 categories that really recognize special and unique things that we know Stockfells are doing out there collectively.
I love that. If I start a Stockfell with all of these beautiful crew that we have here at the Joburg studio, can I enter most unique for if I'm starting a Stockfell for my bag?
Yes.
There's a bag I want to buy. Yeah,
Yes, that's unique.
It is unique, right?
If you think that's had never been done, or it's just very innovative, definitely you can.
I love it.
So we are recognizing all types of Stockfells, whether you will have a bank account or you don't, whether you bank with ABSA or with another financial institutions. We want to see, we know the collective power that you have, and we want to really fuel that for you to even make a success of what you are trying to do even further.
Love that. And tell me, how can people get involved?
So firstly, you need to go to absa.co.za/Stockfell Awards. Then click nominate a Stockfell. Then just a few fields on the form, and voila, you are in, and follow the instructions thereafter. It's a very quick form. I do know you at least each person in South Africa knows at least one person that is in a Stockfell. Please do help us to spread the word in really recognizing these groups, and nominate a participator and participate in the Stockfell Awards, whether you are in a Stockfell or not. If you know one, please make them get that 100,000.
Come on. You know, ever since you said that million, there's a whole lot of different things that have been flying through my head. What about my family Stockfell? Can I enter them?
Definitely. Any group that you are saving collectively, that is, and 1 million is an overall grand prize.
Yes.
But you can win a category up to 100,000 just as a Stockfell. So you can win a best travel club and get your 100,000, which is the share of that. So, but all you need to do is nominate. I really need Stockfell people and people that are related to Stockfell to participate, and really let's fuel these Stockfell stories.
Come on, because your story matters, honey. Oh, that's incredible. Thank you so much, Palisa. And also, just to make sure, I can nominate myself or I can nominate someone else.
Yes, so you can nominate yourself, you can nominate somebody else, and follow the process. Nominations are open to everybody.
Love it. Thank you so much, Palisa. We appreciate you, and thank you for doing amazing work that matters.
Thank you.
Thank you. We always tell you that with ABSA, your story matters indeed, my lovely, which is why they want to hear your Stockfell story, or maybe the Stockfell story of someone else, which is why you need to go and nominate somebody. absa.co.za/Stockfell Awards. That is where you can get all the information that you need, as well as where you can nominate someone. And also, my love, you must keep in mind that those nominations and the entries do end on the 30th of September 2024. So go and do it now. Don't leave it for next week or next month. Do it now so that it gets in. And of course, you always know that with ABSA, you are 100% always winning. And I hope that you go and do the right thing. With that being said, I cannot wait for when we find out who will be getting that delicious prize of 1 million, as well as the 100,000 for each and every one of the categories. And it is going to be happening in November, the ABSA Stockfell Awards.
There are stories of believers, and we're inspired by them all. We invite you to write your story with us. Your story matters. ABSA.
It's a Trendy Tuesday, and we've been focusing on your stories on social media. And a feel-good breakfast show is not feel-good without trying a few of them. Now, with citrus season coming to an end, we decided to try like 2 citrus-inspired hacks, all we had time for. And first up, we have a citrus and herb salt, followed by a Brazilian lemonade, or aka lemonada. So let's chat to Chef Tiffany, who's here with me again. I'm so excited. It's just really great to be in the kitchen with you, because usually you're on the other side of the cameras.
Yeah, in the scenes.
And now you are here next to me, live, where there's no turning back. I love this. It's the best feeling. No, you must stay here. So let's start with the salt. Can we take a look at a video first?
Yes.
All right, let's take a look at a video and see how we can do the salt. We're going to plan our attack or our assault. And that is how effective we are at Trendy Tuesday. We even gave you ASMR, like, while you are waking up. And did you hear that? So, Chef Tiffany, you're going to do that for us, but you have to also make the noises while you're making the salt.
How
which
much
is
time
good.
do you have?
I have a lot of time. We only have time. How much time do you have in there?
A few times.
A few time. How many sprigs of time do you have?
4 sprigs.
Is it time for the time?
It's time for the time.
That's good to hear. Right, there's no time to waste then. Let's make this thing for you, shall we? This is going to be great. So what do we start with?
So we're going to start off... Oh, do we do all of that? We don't even have time for this, but okay.
You would at least go...
Okay, let's start.
Yes, thank you. Perfect. ASMR.
So first we're going to go in with some salt. So coarse salt or salt flakes, whatever you have available. Don't use fine salt because it's not really going to give it that texture. So I'm going to do half of this, otherwise too much.
A good point there, because you need those salt grains to knock up against...
And we also want to break this down.
That's
it. You know what I mean?
And you've got to break it down sometime.
Exactly.
Right.
And
I also
now...
didn't hear... Problem, I didn't hear the salt.
Should we do it again?
Closer. Thank you.
You're so dramatic.
Thank you. So I am dramatic a little bit sometimes. Only a little bit, but not a lot of times. Okay, fine.
For a little
Continue.
person.
Exactly. So,
okay, so now we're going to go in with some thyme, right?
How does time sound in ASMR? That's fine. Okay, cool.
And
What are you
then
gonna do?
we're going to go in with some lemon zest.
Okay. Please be careful of your fingertips and your nails and lemon zesting, hey? That's pro tip for you.
I like the way you care. You know, you're always watching out for me.
I do care about you a lot, and you should know this by now. So that's it. You're not even doing that.
But you can hear it. Come
That's
closer.
it.
Bring your mic here. Can you guys hear that? Let go. Okay. Let's move on. We don't have to do all those steps.
I like the
So now,
ASMR of it, yes.
we're just going to give this a nice little crush. So while I'm doing this, can you hear that? But also smell it. Smell it. Smell it.
It smells so good. Are you getting that lemon zest.
What else are you getting?
I don't know if there's enough time to tell you. It's smelling very sweet.
Okay, we're going to speed this up. So that's it. Essentially what you want is you want to get that. That's the end product.
Is this the end product over here? Sorry, end
but
product.
But
there.
first, before we get to that,
Great.
so that will be a little bit more finer, right? This is
Okay.
now just for TV land.
Yes.
So we're going to add this.
For TV land?
For TV land.
The land you live in, Chef.
The land I live in.
It's
So
a great
basically you put this on a baking tray.
Yes.
You spread it out nice and even.
Great.
This goes into the oven at 100 degrees for like about 1 hour. So you just want to dehydrate it a little bit. Okay? So let's
I mean, you
put
could
that
have
to
said
the side.
dry it out, but you see, Chef Tiffany's changing while she's live. She could have said dry
Dehydrate.
out, but she said dehydrate now.
I was practicing that
I'm
word
just
earlier.
saying that was fantastic. Like, please use more of these culinary big words for us. please.
Terminology, not words.
Yes, what? I'm so sorry. This is crazy.
Okay,
Yes.
so this will be the end product. You can smell that. Okay, how does it smell?
You know what?
Smells
My
really
nasal
nice, eh?
receptors are very receptive to
Wow.
that. You see what I'm saying? That's
Cool,
right.
wait,
I
see.
know, also big words from my
So,
side.
then we have some more. We obviously have a grapefruit
That's
and
great.
rosemary one. Smell that.
Okay, I need to smell this one.
And then we have a... Can you smell it? Then this...
Wonderful.
What one is this? This is orange and sage. Smell that. It
Okay,
smells so good.
This is great. Can we get to some lemonade?
Of course.
Because I'm ready.
Let's
So we
move
got
on.
the salts ready. Just recap. As you can see, we had something like the zest that's got the oils. The oils interact with the herbaceousness of whatever you use, like thyme or rosemary. And then I think it's actually the coarse salt that makes the reaction, that gives you the beautiful, I'm going to say, the aromas that permeate through all of the barriers of your natural inhibitions with Chef Tiffany. So let's go into the beautiful
Okay,
lemonade.
so let's move on to the lemonade. So what we've done is... Are we not going to watch a little video?
You don't know. I don't.
You skip the video.
You know what?
Okay,
I
bye.
feel like you, with your ASMR, is better than the video.
Okay.
So let's hear.
Okay. So what we did was we took
Yes.
4 limes, we put it in our blender, we blended that up with some water.
Okay.
And then what we did was we just drained the liquid and then kept the pulp.
What does that sound like? Is that like a... Perfect, great.
I didn't know I'm coming to do sound effects.
No, but it's ASMR. We have to be. It's Trendy Tuesday.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
So what you can do, Carl, is put the liquid in there. So that's just limes.
Yes.
Lime juice and some water. I'm going to put this to the side quickly.
So hold on. Can I just confirm the fact that I saw that the skins are in there too? Because Brazilian lemonade, you do the skins and the flesh.
But we just want this for now because we want a smooth one.
Okay, what a smooth.
How does it smell?
It smells good.
Cool.
Right. ASMR coming your way. You're welcome. You hearing that?
Nice, nice, nice.
Did you hear that? I know you heard it. It's ASMR Tuesday.
Okay.
We're changing it.
So
Okay.
now we're going to go in with some ice. Just
Ice.
like a little handful of ice. We just don't do it for installation.
Okay, just ice. Hold on. Thank you. Just want to make sure you heard the ice too. Ice goes
Let me
in.
help you.
Thank you so much.
Otherwise, we're going to see the end result tomorrow.
No, I'm giving you ASMR while we're doing this. What else do you have? Okay.
Is that cute?
That was not cute. It's fine though, because just
Okay.
you try.
Next, we're going to go in with half a tin of condensed milk.
In condensed milk. Okay, this doesn't make any sound.
No, not
That's
at
fine.
all.
Half a tin.
Half. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's aesthetically pleasing.
It is. It is. It's
So
also.
now we're going to close the blender.
And there we go. Oh, this is going to be great.
And now you're going to blend that up fast.
Do you know what I want you to do?
What?
All right, while I'm doing this,
What do
is
I
that on this thing over here, I want you to just take some of this, right? And then let's take some of the condensed milk and then do it around the rim. And then we're actually going to do a nice rim for this very quickly.
Let's
You
do
can do
this.
that for me and then use any salt that you want to, because obviously you want to
Yes.
connect the salt in Brazilian lemonade. That wasn't part of the recipe.
No, improvising.
Why? We have to improvise. Okay? I'm not sure if you can hear this. Fantastic. Great stuff, right?
Let's do the lemon and
That's it.
thyme one.
Oh, we're going to do that. Brilliant. And
Look at us.
Look at us. You know, we went
should start a
completely off
business.
script. We should. That's called wingingit.com. There it is. Brazilian lemonade at your will. Gorgeous
Give it a
stuff.
taste, Tess.
And here we go. Expressoshow.com. Grab these.
Mm.
Oh, my word. The balance of the sweetness and the tartness, a bit of sour, salty. It's basically all the base flavors in the culinary world mixed together as one.
That's good.
I'm a happy person. Thank you. Tiffany, you
You're
are phenomenal.
welcome.
You need to join me in the kitchen more often. Thank you so much. Please go try this on expressoshow.com. And also stand by for some more action on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. There's lots, but this
Cheers.
is all yours. Cheers to you.
Oh, do you want to cheers to me?
No.
Okay. That was nice.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And naturally, on a Tuesday, we need to discuss matters of the heart. And every Tuesday, we present a relationship dilemma in need of help. And today's one reads as follows. So, hi, I'm an 18-year-old woman who recently got close with a group of male friends. There's one guy, 18 years old in particular, who really interests me. He's cute, honest, and seems like a great potential partner. We get along well, but aren't super close. I'm wondering how to explore a romantic relationship without being pushy or risking our friendship. I'd appreciate advice from both guys and girls on how to navigate this and approach him without making things awkward. Thanks for any insights. Now, joining us, we got the perfect individual to weigh in on this conversation and to give her professional advice is a psychologist, Dr. Angelique Nespola, just to give us a little idea as to where this should go. Dr. Angelique Nespola, what an honor. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for having me.
So we've heard this all too often. I mean, this sounds like high school all over again. You know,
down memory lane.
for so many. But just let's look at this in terms of someone's intention to like somebody, like their attributes, know it's in a friendly scenario, and now wanting to bridge that sort of gap without risking a friendship. I think that's a big thing for many people, right? So let's, on the outset over here, what are you thinking is this particular individual's options over here?
And I absolutely love this conscious approach.
Yeah.
You know, being mindful of how we're going to navigate a relationship, how we're going to navigate a friendship.
Yes.
Just thinking about it,
Yeah,
moving mindfully through a situation. So I think it is important to gauge a mutual interest. I think that is really important, not to make an assumption. Because we often do, myself included, we make assumptions.
Yeah.
And it's easy to do that, to assume that, okay, these gestures are only friendship.
Yes.
Or to assume that they're not, you know, they're not interested, or that they are interested, to misread the situation. So I think it is important to gauge. I think I'd like to highlight that.
Okay. So engage, you said mutual. But you never know, do you?
You don't.
You don't know, because the thing is, some people are naturally friendly and they're giving you attention. They're reciprocating in certain expressive communication patterns, and suddenly they're like, oh, my word, this person is totally interested in me.
Yes, we might misread.
You know, so, I mean, how do you even begin to understand what is this person likes me versus they're just friendly?
Yes.
You know, that's a very, very grey area.
It is, absolutely. And we might misinterpret. So I think it can be a gentle approach. It doesn't need to start with a big deal.
Oh, yes.
It could be just spending more time together,
Okay.
engaging in things that you both enjoy, mutual interests, getting a sense for the friendship, paying attention to those little signs, right? It doesn't need to start with a big discussion. We can get there, but I think gently easing into it.
It makes
spending
sense.
time, connecting.
I suppose in this particular regard, given the situation, it's about actually finding out when does that moment happen when you think about saying what you want to say. Like, I like you, and but I like you more than friends.
Yes.
Like, that's a big thing for many people, because there's always that barrier there, and you can express in certain ways. I know that a lot of people, to make themselves a bit more secure in their behaviors towards someone, to not expose their vulnerability, they often mimic behaviors toward other people in front of them, so that person feels like it's a normal thing, so that you don't expose yourself and your vulnerability.
Yes.
However, now let's look at the communication styles we can use to have a DMC around taking this way beyond. I mean, we had a lovely coffee the other day, but like, how do we get to that conversation where we could say, but hey, you know what, I like you.
Yeah.
Right?
And I think firstly, we need to move away from the group setting, because there's a group of friends involved here, right? And we want to maintain that, we want to preserve that. But having this conversation at the right time, at the right place, quiet, you know, just where they can engage in a respectful, honest conversation is really important. And then I think highlighting, because I can hear in that scenario, the friendship is really important, and preserving that is really important. So highlighting that in this discussion. Something like, I enjoy spending time with you, I have thought about our relationship, and I think we could be more than friends, but our friendship is really important. What do you think? So really highlighting the friendship and how important that is stands out to me here, because that's a need within this scenario for this person.
I think that's where the fear comes in. The fear comes in with, you know, I might act differently knowing that you like me. You said you value our friendship. I value it too. But now, how does this change me tomorrow morning when I kind of know you like me more?
Yes.
You didn't want to lose the friendship, but you've now articulated the fact that you felt something for me. I just feel like that's where the real vulnerable moment is.
So vulnerable.
Is setting your open mind to this person may have a boundary to this relationship that ends at friendship. But also, if I don't try this, how do I know if I can actually go beyond the boundary because this person could be harboring feelings too. So there's that polarity there that makes it very insecure. So to this person, are you telling that person just be bold and be brave and go for it, even at the risk of the friendship, so that they get what their heart wants? Or are we saying create the friendliest environment possible and then try move over from there?
I think there's no right or wrong answer,
You see, that's
because either way, it's vulnerable. Like you said, both situations are vulnerable. And the thing is, we can try and predict what's going to happen, but we're human. The person, the friend on the receiving end, hasn't had time to process this like she has.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So you're being caught off guard, whereas the other person has had time to process, to think. So to keep that in mind, to prepare for all sorts of responses. Because it could be a response of, oh my word, thank you, I've been thinking the same thing, I didn't know how to voice it, or
first prize.
First prize, but like we're winning.
Yes, yes.
Or it could be, you know, I didn't think about this, it hasn't crossed my mind, I need time to think. We need to respect that boundary. You spoke about boundaries.
Yes, boundaries are important.
So it could go any way. I mean, it depends on the dynamic, it depends on so many factors. So I think I would say prepare for all sorts of responses, because that's fair. The person is being caught off guard.
Yeah, well, that's very true.
Yeah.
And if you're thinking something and you want to act on it, I feel like as the initiator of that conversation, you have an intention. You know your intention is pure. You know you like this person, so go for it. So I think, in short, if this person were to broach this conversation, just to kind of scan over the pillars of it, be open to all responses. Know that this person may be a little blindsided by this change in feelings. Also, make sure that, you know, that friendship moment as well, just to nurture that after a conversation like that is quite tough. So as a last point on this, how does that person now chat to that individual and say, I don't want this to be awkward between us. If you don't feel the same, it doesn't mean that I don't want to be your friend. I'm just saying, so what type of communication would be apt in that particular regard to say, I want to retain the friendship?
I think acknowledging that things might be a little bit different at first, but talking about it.
Yes.
Not just trying to skirt over it, put it under the rug. Acknowledging it. Saying, okay, things might be different, you know, didn't go the way I expected or I hoped, but the friendship is valuable. And communicating around that, checking in and discussing how you're going to move forward. It's okay if it's a little bit awkward. It will be.
Yes, it will.
You'll move through it. It's a natural progression from here. So I think accepting it might be different, talking about it with the person is really, really important there.
Thank you for saying that, because I think people think that they've lost the friendship completely when there's that awkwardness. But you have to see it through.
Yeah.
You have to.
It's part of the process.
It is.
Lean into it a little bit.
That is very comforting. I'm so glad that you said that, and I hope that inspired you as well. I mean, if you're, you know, you have some feelings for somebody, I think it is great of you to be open and honest with them. I feel like that's loving somebody, to be fair. So this is an incredible conversation. Lots more permutations around that. If you'd like to send a WhatsApp and ask the doctor anything, please feel free. 063-408-8863. We'll be willing to answer a little bit later. But for now, Zanele, what's coming up on your Feel Good Breakfast Show?
I'll tell you, my Carl, just because it's you and it's because it's you, Expresso family. Coming up, we're going to be continuing our conversation with our doctor of love. And yes, we are getting into this beautiful thing of being able to help each other out as a family when it comes to the matters of the heart. So I might even be telling you what I think. You're going to have to stick around for it, right? Then we're also going to be being blown away yet again by none other than Anela Jamina. She is still here, and there's 2 more tracks coming your way right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Let's take a break. But when we come back, there's a whole lot more. Stick around.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. We missed you, and now you're back here, ready, because the thing is, before the break on your Feel Good Breakfast show, we introduced our relationship dilemma of the day, and you know, it is basically somebody who wanted to get out of the friend zone, so to speak, met somebody through a group setting, and just that's a little recap for you on your screen now. But just to give you the gist, it's essentially, what does the person do if they want to broach the topic of saying to one person in that group that they want to do something a bit more than just be friends, and that's okay. So joining us is our psychologist, Dr. Angelique Nespola, who's going to give us a bit more about your comments coming through on social media. But Zanele, I'm not sure if you've been in this situation, but I want to hear what you think this individual should do if they need to broach this topic of going past the friend zone. I know it's a big one, but I know you can handle it.
Oh, okay, Carl. Look, I'm going to put my Dr. Love hat on.
Yes.
And I think I might have come up with a little bit of a solution there. Carl, are you listening properly?
Of
you
course.
and Doctor. So, thank you. This is what I think, right? I definitely understand where Anonymous is coming from because, yes, I've been in that situation before where you look at a friend and you're like, oh my goodness, maybe I can see you as more than just a friend. But one thing I want to say is I definitely believe that, yes, Anonymous should explore these feelings, but with a little bit of caution. So this is why I'm like, maybe you also need to take into account the fact that sometimes people are a little bit different when they're in a group setting, because that's what I'm understanding from what Anonymous said, rather. And this is why I'm like, okay, what I think Anonymous should do is try and get some time alone with this person, whether it's like, okay, let's go see a movie, or maybe they have something that they both have in common that they really like. Go and do that together and kind of just get them away from the group and come to understand them as the person when they're on their own. Because I feel like that's going to open them up a little bit more and maybe allow Anonymous to know whether or not there really is a connection there, and also, you know, if this really is a viable partner for them. So that's my attempt at being Dr. Love. How did I do, guys? How did I do?
Zanele, you did so well. In fact, you echoed a lot of what Doctor said. Angelique actually did say the fact that, you know, get the setting, you know, take it away from the group setting.
Yes.
You mentioned that. And Zanele, you hit it on the head. So that's the thing. That's why I don't understand why you have so many friends, Zanele.
Carl, why are you coming for me? But and I have a lot of them, yes, Carl. But you know what, Carl? We'll discuss this. Please, please,
Yes,
please. It's about
later.
Anonymous now.
It's another show that we have afterwards. It's our late night show with Zanele and Carl discussing how to remove yourself from the friend zone.
Can I come too?
Of course you can. That's it. So, Zanele, thank you so much for weighing in. I appreciate that.
We need another Doctor of Love.
Woo, my word. Yes, so, you know, back to the actual scenario. I think it's great. She definitely echoed what you said.
Absolutely. Spending time together, mutual interests are important, getting to know each other one-on-one, you know, and doing things you both enjoy.
Yes.
So if one of you is an avid hiker and the other one isn't, we're not going to go for hiking, right? We're going to find common ground. We're going to find something that you both enjoy to connect, right? Making space for connection.
And I'm glad you said the expressive communication is actually saying taking it out of the group setting alone kind of gives you a hint. Not to say that you have this, you know, subliminal information that you deliver to somebody. You have to be direct, but I think it's also a good start. A couple of comments came through about the scenario. Let's take a look at a few of them and just analyze accordingly. So a few comments. The first one is from Lutano saying, remember, relationship and friends are totally two different things. The best advice is to keep your friendship than pursuing relationship. There's always a darker side. You don't know when it comes to relationships. Focus on being friends. Oh, Lutando, you know, just to comment on that, sometimes the heart wants what it wants, and sometimes it's your friend. And that's where I think it gets complicated. Doctor, if you want to weigh in that, I mean, do you just go cold and just say, you know what, relationships don't work. Maybe I come from a divorced household, so I'm going to be friends with everybody.
I think the part I can connect to from what Lutando said is there is an aspect of risk. You know, we spoke about that vulnerability. It could go either way.
True.
It really could. So there is risk here, and to be comfortable with that if you do decide to approach this topic.
Yeah.
If you go for what the heart wants, you know.
Yeah. I'm actually a big fan of going for what the heart wants. I'm not going to lie. I know that, yes, you're going to risk this friendship, but at the same time, I believe that, do you want to live in regret with a good friend? Or do you want to try something and maybe just, you know, fly with somebody who is so close to you and so, you know, could be your love of your life?
Yeah, and I think especially taking into account that this person is thinking about it.
Yeah.
they're moving through this very consciously.
Yeah.
It's not a rash decision.
Yes.
And I think that will go a long way, you know, in protecting the friendship.
Exactly.
Like we said, it might be awkward, but the friendship hopefully can withstand that.
And that's if it's a good friendship, like, let's be honest. So let's take a quick peek at another comment. This one came through. Renojuana is saying this: get to know him first. Let him know you too. Give him space to know you. Don't rush. He might not be what you're looking for. Trust me. Ooh, you did mention that slower approach.
Yes.
That's a more strategic approach to the scenario.
It
Are you
is.
agreeing with Renojuana there?
I think I do. I think I align with that. Take your time, gentle. It doesn't need to be a rushed process. The conversation doesn't need to be rushed. I think this person knows.
Yeah. Been in a
First-hand
situation.
experience, maybe.
You can tell. But I mean, we live in an age of instant gratification. We always want immediate answers, immediate responses.
Yes, we don't like
and
discomfort.
I think when it comes to the matters of the heart and friendship, let's slow it down for a second and make a good decision. Another little comment coming up for you as well, which is another one that came through. We got to Juana a little earlier. This is Andrea Himan saying, if the guy was interested in you, he would have made it clear. Because one thing about men, when they like someone, they will make it known. It's clear that the guy sees you as a friend. I don't particularly agree with that. I as a guy. Do you know that sometimes we are scared to say something?
Yes.
We are scared to be vulnerable. We are scared to get rejected because when you grow up as a male in a lot of traditional societal contexts, it's terrible being rejected from a sports team, from your parents, from your friends. So the worst thing you can do is avoid that emotive stimulus, and you just don't say anything at all just to avoid being hurt.
Yes.
So don't forget that we are sometimes also locked inside.
And might even overcompensate, try and avoid the person to avoid this vulnerability, this risk. And rejection is a big one. I'm glad you highlighted that,
And I think sometimes somebody with direct expressive communication could be unlocking you and unlocking your heart. Or you can say, oh my word, this person has had the honesty to tell me how they feel about me. This is a really great friend. And I can tell you, like, the best love stories, they do start with a good friend.
They always do.
Right?
Yeah, a lot of relationships that, you know, withstand the test of time come from a foundation of friendship.
This is fantastic. I love this. I honestly do. Wowza, doctor, that is all we have time for, unfortunately. We need to have a full-on conversation about this. It's another full show. Remember the late night show with Zanele and Carl?
Yeah, we'll be back.
We have to do that. It's going to be important. But thank you so much to Dr. Angela Ignaspula for giving us a bit more about getting out of the friend zone. Now, Zanele, here's the thing. We have so much more coming up in your Feel Good Breakfast show. So, my friend, tell me what's up.
Oh, my friend, I'll tell you right now, okay? Expresso family, we are indeed still getting into the morning, making sure that you are smiling as you go out into your day. And this is why we only ever bring you the best when we talk about superstars. This morning, the queen who is debuting her album, The Rise, is here, Anela Jamina, and she is going to be performing yet again right here on Expresso. So don't go anywhere. We're going to take a very smallanyana break, smallanyana, and then we're going to come back with Anela. Don't go anywhere.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and some news for you. You can choose your 6 lucky numbers and play Powerball and Powerball Plus for 48 million rand in total estimated jackpots. That's this Tuesday, which is today. Namhlanje vandag. It's great. Now, don't get left behind. You can play Powerball for an estimated 42 million rand or Powerball Plus for an estimated 6 million rand. But as always, if you want to win, you got to play. And this is how you do it. You can buy your tickets by walking in store with a positive attitude and a smile on your face. Alternatively, nationallottery.co.za. That's the website or the mobile app. You can also buy tickets through cell phone banking or by simply dialing star 120 star 7529 hash for USSD. I know, it's so early in the morning, you gave me too much information. Please don't worry. Our Expresso social media pages have been populated with all of the information for you, so go check them out. And Panda Push Up Play, Powerball and Powerball Plus for 48 million rand in total estimated jackpots today, and you can hit it lucky. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and you know what? We're always lucky by getting the most incredible talents from South Africa to perform for you.
It's true. How can you not feel lucky when we have the likes of Anela Jamina in the building? And honey, let me make your morning even luckier and tell you just how good of a position you're in right now. As you continue to enjoy your Feel Good Breakfast Show as we wrap things up, not only is she performing one song, no, she's performing 2. The first one is Phoenix and the next one is Beautiful Stranger. And we are getting to be absolutely enthralled by the beauty of her face, but also the beauty of her talent. Ladies and gentlemen, the queen who has her debut album out, The Rise. She is here with us, and here we go. We're about to go into the rest of the morning with an absolute feel-good way of music. Everybody, let's give it up for Anela Jamina.
Lioness roar, hey, roar, yeah. None of them don't love you. They see the fire burning within. They wanna kill it slowly. You better rise like a phoenix from the ashes, spitting tongues of fire so the weak can maybe scattered. Oh, none of them don't love you. They see the fire burning within. They wanna kill it slowly. You better rise like a phoenix from the ashes, spitting tongues of fire so the weak can maybe scattered. Lyrically, she knows your attention, color fisherman. Her spiritual sounds catch you off guard, hook, line, and sinker. Real warrior woman, the fucker mistake of her Nosina. She's the mother of boys, to strengthen resilience. Wash the master, show her love. You're the universe calling it. Anela Jamina, Anela Jamina. None of them don't love you. They see the fire burning within. They wanna kill it slowly. You better rise like a phoenix from the ashes, spitting tongues of fire so the weak can maybe scattered. Oh, none of them don't love you. They see the fire burning within. They wanna kill it slowly. You better rise like the phoenix from the ashes, spitting tongues of fire so the weak can maybe scattered. Oh. If you are sick every time you see me, you better be scared, cause I'm an illness dreader than flu. Be a disease that's incurable. I bet you 10 times the life I lead is incredible. Excuse me, but we pull the shoes, seductive flows, introducing clean melodies. How about you for new one, new rasta woman, blamanam? Cause me not choose face, not two face, me stay true to this face. None of them don't love you. They see the fire burning within. They wanna kill it slowly. You better rise like a phoenix. Rise like a phoenix. Rise like a phoenix. Rise like a phoenix. None of them don't love you. They see the fire burning within. They wanna kill it slowly. You better rise like a phoenix from the ashes, spitting tongues of fire so the weak can maybe scattered. Oh, none of them don't love you. They see the fire burning within. They wanna kill it slowly. You better rise like the phoenix from the ashes, spitting tongues of fire so the weak can maybe scattered. Yeah. This next song I'm about to perform is called Beautiful Stranger. Beautiful stranger, my heart is in danger. Out of sight, never out of mind. Beautiful stranger, my heart is in danger. Out of sight, never out of mind. I get this warm feeling inside. When you catch my eye, got me falling hard. Be my superhero, baby. I need protection. When you lay your body on me, I need salvation. Take over my every move, leave my body bruised, but me my kiss of a Zulu love letter. Oh, by me my kiss of a Zulu love letter. Beautiful stranger, my heart is in danger. Out of sight, never out of mind. Beautiful stranger, my heart is in danger. Out of sight, never out of mind. Some call it cigarette, nothing is good, ever stays a cigarette. I might end up smoking a cigarette. Now that I got your attention, I wanna feel your affection. Everybody can see you're my addiction. Me never wanna feel your rejection. Me don't wanna fight. What a beautiful stranger. Only for you I wanna feel appreciation. A beautiful stranger, my heart is in danger. Out of sight, never out of mind.
Another feel-good production.
Elevate your custard game with the all-new vanilla-flavored Clover custard. So creamy and smooth, it makes all the other desserts a little jelly.
I need protection.